faced a recent loss. But it's time, folks. Map 1 of the second semifinals.
Let's get into it, Abu Dhabi. Here on Nuke to kick things off. You know that FaZe are coming with a little bit of extra preparation to make sure that what happened in the past won't happen again. And G2 have to try to foresee what will come next. As Niko said in the interview, they both know each other so well. So it could just be about these gambles. Maybe we'll see a couple new tactics.
Little skin seen from a distance. Mini peek gets punished by Hunter. And that's going to serve as a trigger for him to just move this forward fast. Robs catches HooXi. That goes down on ramp, but it's really this point of contest here. And Kerrigan, he's going to use that chance to slide out. Starts shooting Hunter in the back, but guess what? m0NESY's also up there. And so we're right back to the 3v3 with Twist trying to get into the action. m0NESY's dropped his teammate, and now we've got FaZe stranded inside this A site. It's all on Brokey. He taps away the heaven play, a second chance that comes for free, and one headshot versus niko's all he needs, and he spams away to nail it. A 1v3 from Brokey to kick off this map.
Wow, niko had the time, and Twist swung at a mini. And so I think it felt like to G2, yeah, we can take upstairs. That was the risk they took. No way somebody is still there layered inside of opposite vents. But after the first kill in heaven, you gotta wonder where the comm was. m0NESY had no idea, it seems, where this kill came from. JKS just flew into the site. Could have been a communication issue, but look at G2, and sorry, look at Brokey seizing the moments. And we compare the two operators and the two best players in the team right now. m0NESY is by far and away having the best vent of his year and maybe his career here at the World Final. And Brokey has not been at his peak level at this event so far. It's actually been almost solely about Twist and Rops and their outstanding stats on CT side and T side respectively.
Of course, he's coming off of an MVP performance at Fall Finals, so we know he's got it in his back pocket. Be a hell of a time to throw himself right up there alongside Rops and Twists. Try to get 3 FaZe players running for that MVP. Kerrigan, labored effort here versus HooXi, and the Glock's actually going to prevail. Shouldn't have, but does. Twists looking to respond to this. Poor HooXi still pinned into the corner, so no real chance at getting out of that. And Brokey will see nothing outside, but by drawing Twists out, Rain sees shadows. Ominous. m0NESY tries to bait him around the corner, and it works out. Ooh. Hunter catches a second. So again, measly pistols, still getting some economic damage in, and an upgrade to the MP9 looks nice on Hunter. 19
over, right?
HP, and a hell of a dream as he picks up that frag on Rops. Pressure on Brokey yet again.
30 seconds. There's time on the clock. Hunter is trying to make this mid-round play. Brokey, will he read into it correctly is the question.
He's put himself in the right spot, but Hunter decides not to follow forward. Doubles back. As he does that, there's also the smoke for Hunter. We'll see if that comes into the equation.
Brokey made some footsteps, so Hunter knows that he could have run here for the plant.
And now we go, gun back out. 19 health, no armor, 1v3 queued up. And he's kind of lost track of Brokey.
Oh.
So sure enough, as you'd expect, the better rifle, the more health, and the Kevlar player comes through. It's a clutch and a clutch out of Brokey back to back.
Yeah, and you know, Hunter, he could lean his head back and be tilted about losing that because look at this round. It's one where they come in with no investment. He has no armor and nearly brings out a 1v4 and just wants it for all the glory, but it can't feel too bad to lose. He did so much to even get that bomb down on top of these frags. And Hunter, somebody we talk about as somebody who's kept his level up at a very high level throughout the year, but since HooXi has come onto the team, his stats have taken a little bit of a fall off. His roles have changed slightly. m0NESY's have gone up, and that has seemed to be okay for the team outside of the, sore spot, of course, that is the major. But it doesn't mean that Hunter isn't still completely himself, and even though he's kind of a quieter player in terms of how flashy his frags are, the kills are still there. The performances are still very consistent.
Warning sign to FaZe. G2's investments through. This potential m0NESY versus Brokey op duel that could be just fireworks across this series. But for now, economic woes mean op on one side.
Yeah, I mean, look at the difference between the buy right now. It's going to be very clear to FaZe that they have to pull this round out and try to make it clean if they want to keep their economy afloat. Kerrigan just the MP9.
Rain Oof. Oh. Okay.
That's a raindrop.
niko smashed behind Mini, but it's still a welcome invitation for the bomb and its cohort to move along outdoors. Rops catches JKS head turned as that second set of feet came running over from hell. So all they've got to work with is this secret play. Rain, passive, sits back, allows for them to walk forward here. It could be another clean one, and sure enough it is. Ooh, immense amounts of damage coming out of Rain, but Hunter's got the response.
That was a great punish. Rain decided if they were going to play it a little passive, then he's going to get a better spot in the stairs.
Rob still awaits them. Ambitious, but honestly not that far off the mark.
Ooh,
Smoke grenade will give him a chance. Robs drops off.
I think they heard him.
Yeah, they should. Gap in the smoke. Time's starting to run out, so even though Robs hasn't killed him yet, feels like he's just playing with his food. And now m0NESY pressure from both ends. Time against him. Oh no! Oh! After time, m0NESY dies. $900 is all he's got.
And that's 4 alive on a round where FaZe had low utility. They came in with the MP9 on one guy. G2 had a significant advantage, but look at his first kill. It's just the assassination right here. Beautiful from Rain. And taking out niko, you know, he's almost always alone outside. We've talked about this in the past. So they tried to come through the sneaky play of having 3 go by after that death, calling out Rain for leaving. And getting into lower was a novel idea. But so far, it's a hot start from FaZe. And when G2 beat them last time, it was a really good start for G2. They're used to starting T-side, though, as it's their core map pick. He was so thoroughly excited about, you know, beating Vitality, beating outsiders after such a strugglesome loss on the first day, and for good reason. This is a very deep run. As niko said, this could be the team harder to beat than the team in the finals.
True. A real test, and a test that, again, right, they've already almost passed. That Inferno game where they lose by 2 rounds. Heartbreaking. And back snapping at the moment is Rain. Not going to let them cross for free. Bomb does get over. He's not alone, though. Knowing that he's up close, JKS going to try to take something into his hands. It's been a marked improvement from JKS here at the World Finals. But as Shadow gets spotted, ooh, doesn't matter. Tech9 point blank, nice and clean.
Yeah, and he heard that low ammo.
Remember, he's got Kevlar as well, right? JKS.
What are you trying to say?
Could be the majestic X factor here in round 4.
He has done some cool things so far this event.
To at least try to get some money back from, you know, m0NESY dying after time the round prior. That's still a problem that they're going to have to deal with in the follow-up in the 5th. Yeah, we've seen great, those kind of FaZe Clan JKS entries from this event so far, but nothing right now. Brokey in that same spot that netted him the first 1v3. He's starting off on a good foot, and the craziest part is FaZe Clan getting this far into the tournament without having to rely on Brokey. Twists and Drops having such great performances throughout that we haven't even had to shine a spotlight on Brokey not being the same player that he was at the fall final. It just shows you the dimensions that FaZe have to offer at all points. They bought him enough time to warm up. Guns come back through. And honestly, they find all the money they need. G2, decent chance to bounce back. Get that first terrorist round win in. Problem is, you know, it's not the Twists and Rops show so far. It's the other pieces of FaZe showing that they are just as capable tonight. You'd be a fool to doubt them from top to bottom, FaZe Clan. We get the utility through the rooftops, pressure on the A site. Probably trying to hope and keep Rain engaged in that A play rather than being outdoors, but it's not just the 1 kill from niko. No, double already. Damage versus Rops, and it goes both ways, but HooXi picks up that slack, and it's 5 up from G2, only 2 players left for FaZe.
It turns Brokey around. We have the situation where they're still scaling on all parts of the map right now. Look at the T's.
Kerrigan, the only player to get something going. We've got G2 on the board.
A great round. You gotta love how tricky that is. That comes down to the smallest timing. The smoke is coming up outside, and niko is phasing it, running out towards Big Garage. It's so unlikely you'd think that would happen if you think people are crossing secret behind the smokes. And look at this. It buys him just enough time, displaces the aim from Rain just enough that makes that shot too hard, and then niko turns it into a second kill and even takes Rops down to like a few HP. And as soon as Hooksy gets his, Brokey leaves the vent. They were going lower. They had a spider web of options, and they made sure not to overcommit at any point. Really crushed FaZe Clan here in round 5, and now the buy comes back, and FaZe, because they had 4 alive on the last round, still have enough money to go for this. This is where reading the economy gets a little bit more tricky, but I think it should be clear to FaZe Clan still early on in this half. I think m0NESY has won the hearts and minds of the fans here in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Giving them so many great games.
Listen, man, it feels like he's just winning more and more fans, no matter where you're at, every day. Every day is a good day to cheer for m0NESY. You're cheering for the future of Counter-Strike. A player who has performed at every event this year. ropz wastes no time, presses through that smoke from the ramp push, gets JKS queued up to death. And niko, the responsibility of a response falls on him.
Yeah, we talk about ropz, been way less passive at this event as well. And again, to speak to, not Brokey being the one that we talk about all the time, ropz has really picked up the slack, and it's not by doing it from the back line. He's been going for more openings, T-side rating through the roof. It was 1.38 at the World Final so far. This range position is great for catching any kind of mini drop, and niko wins that.
Couple rounds back to back here. niko gets away with little bits of HP. But Kerrigan gets active inside of the lobby. Both the deaths so far from G2 on that side of the map. Hunter's gonna press out forward. Having killed Rain leaves a space outside.
Yeah, CT's guessing run right now, tied up a little bit on both parts of the map.
Is indeed room to work. It's that dangerous game. It's too quiet downstairs. Where's the contact? Right there.
Yeah,
walking into the scope of Brokey.
Again, look for this other play.
Hunter.
It's not one-dimensional for now. Oh, but ropz so aware. Why is he watching the back of heaven in this position? That is crazy. It wins it. That was the tactic to try to show bomb lower. Hopefully get the kill, not die, of course. That would have helped out a ton. But to make FaZe think for sure. They can easily rotate downstairs. They have time, not worry about it. But as Brokey left and didn't rotate back into the vent, they made sure to keep eyes on upper and all other options as well. So great awareness here from FaZe. That was very tricky. But ropz, he's the trickiest.
Brokey at the moment just simply not missing that AWP. Hunter comes around the corner, got a little bit of shoulder to try and work with, but ropz is just too fast, man. Simply too fast. Buy back in the cards from G2. Looking for that second round nice and early. 9-1 is Brokey. So far, op dominance belongs to FaZe. niko, very much on his own here. It's been important fights early outside between Rain and niko, and sometimes niko has more players behind him. Sometimes Rain does and doesn't.
Yeah. And you could argue, the two juggernauts of the outside from the CT side and T side respectively, knowing they don't get much help, looking to kill each other.
ropz stoic, and that's sharp. JKS gets his revenge from the last round with an instant headshot entry.
Yeah, and there's some speed with this, right? They could take it down lower if they want to. Immediately FaZe lose a rotation point. How do they search back information?
Twist still doing his own thing. Right now, G2, it's not an overcommitment from that kill.
Yeah, they'll be happy, FaZe will be happy to see no bomb plant right away. No one trying to attack the lower site just yet.
They didn't get pounced on. So they've got still time to get out of danger's way. 34 seconds to that clock, though. Decision needs to be made from G2. There has to be an activation somewhere, somehow. Utility pressure out into mini. niko catches Brokey, a little too scoped in, but they're still coming at this A site. And Twist, well, he strikes from above, and that smoke on Squeaky slows everything down, but the wraparound from Hunter, stopped by ropz last time, successful in his endeavor.
Dude,
comes through, chops off 2.
You see the rounds like this, and you see why G2 are winning on Nuke right now. I mean, that was incredible. It's so hard to read once again. They come through with a similar play with Hunter, but it's dressed up so differently. You think, no way that this is happening. One more time, here he is, making another appearance inside of heaven. and causing terror. If it had to be just Squeaky and Hut at the same time, well, they had Squeaky smoked 15 seconds left. That would have been a much more difficult round. Hunter saves the day.
Saves the day and opens this one up. Vomus, M4, Desert Eagles. It's going to be Kerrigan to try and get aggressive. They're busy, but oh, Monacy reacts fast under that pressure from the push.
Yeah, that's a very risky play, of course. That gun delivered, one of the best guns of the round here for FaZe. And now G2 know the opportunity at hand.
JKS, a lot of responsibility inside of that lobby.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to overstuff Ts inside of lobby when you're waiting for the CTs to push and get information back, because you're cramped and they can surround you actually from both ramp and Squeaky. And so sometimes you have one guy on patrol, and of course JKS is the known lobby holder and just going to be responsible for all these angles. And the idea is, if you lose JKS, well, at least you don't lose 2 players, at least you don't lose the round. And if it is multiple players attacking, you get lots of info.
But that's bomb. Still wallbang damage is substantial. Monacy, part of the solution here. Irretrievable hardware for FaZe.
Definitely feeling a different tempo out of G2 though. The last time they played and the time that they played against Heroic and when they played against Vitality, it's a much faster T-side overall. Now, you do have to have a varied pace at all times, but right now G2 clearly trying to say they know FaZe are going to respond to how they used to play. Let's try something a little new.
Robs. Oh! That was a chance and a half.
Only because it's him, right? If anybody else, you wouldn't get that excited.
Exactly. And also the fact that they were low HP. But
close.
Alleviates the pressure again.
Yeah. They're quietly applying all this pressure. Couple of confident rounds in here. It feels like this half is very much alive. The rounds that FaZe have won, though, have been great. But we are looking back at a Brokey 1v3 on the pistol and the 2 subsequent rounds that were kind of expensive. So we're wondering how many rounds G2 can muster up here on T-side. And this time in this veto, we don't have Ancient at the tail end.
No, which was just so flat.
And I think we get a different energy no matter what. Like if we had Ancient as the repeat this time around, I don't see G2 just suddenly giving up in the way that it felt like they did in that first day. They're now a team that feel like they can win this event, whereas at the time, they're coming off of multiple losses, looking at another early exit in their minds, and now they really are starting to believe in themselves. And Niko said, if we beat FaZe, then we have the confidence to win the tournament. Right now, we can't think past this event, or this round of the event.
No, I really felt like, you know, what kind of piled on to that Ancient collapse is just the fact that they had nothing to point to be the reminder for their own self-confidence. But now they're actually building something. Now they've got nuke wins versus multiple top-tier opponents and series wins. Yeah. And you know what? On top of that, blowouts. 16-1 to eliminate outsiders from the event.
Unbelievable. Should have been a 16-0, but came to that pistol. The 3v5 retake, a defuse from Norbert, of course. But that was unreal. That was a series where Monacy went 56 and 20.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2 maps, and one of those maps is 16 rounds. 17 rounds. Unreal. It's crazy what we've seen so far from Hooksy as the caller on this team. You could definitely attribute some of the big wins to Hooksy. A lot of the rounds individually won by Monacy's sheer individual efforts. That first half versus Outsiders, the 2 clutches that he got. We were asked in an interview earlier, you know, what are the big moments this year? And immediately just thought about this. Hooksy grabbing the bomb with, Monacy grabbing the bomb, 4 seconds left on the defuse, on the plant, puts it down, wins the round, impossible kill after impossible kill. And then him at the beginning of the year versus MIBR, another outstanding 1v4 on Inferno.
It's like we time traveled back to the start of 2022. We're lucky enough to be reminded by Monacy what this game's skill ceiling really looks like. But without further ado, we're back into it. Round 9 underway with Rain on the solo M4. He could very well be first contact. But we've also got another round out of G2 here where they're trying to go through protocols without making mistakes.
Mahone brought up in the pre-match this one play. Oh, man, his pre-aims are just so solid. I think that first headshot is pretty much the only bullet Rain hits in that position. Sliver of an angle here for niko. They see this receded position from Rain. They also get confirmation on one rifle. It's hard to say now what the rest of the round looks like. From a resource perspective from FaZe, how much do they have to work with? All they know is that it's gone entirely quiet. No one's pressuring them back outside. I think it should be quite clear that this feels more like an anti-eco than anything else. But still, mistakes could be made.
There was a chance to pounce there, Kerrigan, but falls off and honestly looks to press out towards Squeaky. Nice dink onto JKS, tries to set up the Zeus. And Kerrigan actually manages with the USP, but here comes Hunter in with the split. So from 0 to 100 real quick out of G2, and they get by that ominous threat. niko could still die, but that smoke's soon gonna fade and twists. Yeah, unfortunately for him, his calves were spotted. But Robs picks up the 5-7 kill, so still racking up the damage, adding cost to the G2 victory here in round number 9. That lead cut to only 1 now.
What was impressive when G2 were playing their T sides is like not only how fast, but how methodical and fast they were able to go forward with what felt like full execs, with still keeping the option open for A and B at all times. And I think that's what's been the most noticeable about their attacking side right now. And credit to a lot of teams improving on T sides, showing them off at this event. Liquid being one of them. Mao's at the major. G2 clearly putting in a lot of effort. There was that line from Yakinder that G2, they didn't improve since the last time they played. That was the big one, I think, at the fall final.
Yes.
And of course, that could have been, it's a little psychological. A
little bit.
But, you know, he had something to say in a winner's match, right? I mean, that was something where he could speak from a point of experience. And between then and now, time to improve.
It's going to be a fast one. We've seen this play a lot this event.
Oh.
That's at least the 3rd time that m0NESY picks up that opening kill.
I think it is 3 on the dot. So consistent with it. Oh, another one to the leg. Takes some damage back, but it'll be Rain or Kerrigan who's shaking.
Doesn't even need to see them at this point. Can just sense them, knows what FaZe are up to. So you got to be prepared as that mini player. m0NESY loves to go for the swing. Sets it all up himself. Sets FaZe back. We talked about Yakinder mentioning, you know, that they haven't changed much. niko's answer the next day was, well, if we played them tomorrow, we could probably 2-0 them.
Right.
Well, you pick up this win versus FaZe, and you'll get a chance to prove that. Liquid.
Ooh, great point.
Yeah, awaiting the second finalist.
But they can't think too far ahead. They can't think too far ahead. This is the big dog right now. FaZe
storylines.
Yeah. Looking for their 5th tournament this year. One of 2 teams to win a major. The other team no longer at this event, eliminated by G2. Imagine G2 take down 2 major champions in a world final.
That's what I'm saying.
In a stacked event.
And uncharacteristically giving FaZe a loss in a finals, right? Normally when they get to finals, they win. But Rops drops niko on the push in. Listen, time is starting to become a problem here. G2 thought maybe they were going to just enjoy a merry journey down to that B site, but as they got closer, the resistance increased, and there's a chance to reroute, to direct themselves to the A site, where HooXi opens up shop. Remember, Kerrigan, 16 HP, stops the front runner, but Hunter's not alone here. He's got that extra few seconds to reposition bomb, and G2 squeeze an excellent situation out of what looked like a problematic post on that B site.
That's a key frag from HooXi. And that's a kill that, you know, throughout this year has been a problem for HooXi. To be able to get that under the most pressure, understanding with the amount of time left on the clock, he's got to win the duel. It's versus Twist, sitting in one of his favorite spots inside of Tetris on the A side. That's no small feat. And with that, they have enough time to get that bomb planted. That was like a Navi-esque round with how much time it took. And until you mentioned it, I didn't realize how much time they had spent doing almost nothing. So honestly, that was almost worrying. I feel like that would have you thinking, like, is there a lot of clarity in the calling right now? You know, seeing a different philosophy and approach to the game here versus FaZe in the rematch, and it's actually been working out quite well, but they're riding a very fine margin. But here they are, 5-5. FaZe back with no money once again. G2 could potentially take a lead in the first half.
After a rowdy start from Brokey. I believe 3 or 4 deaths now in a row without kills. So that impactful start suddenly stunned. Meanwhile, Hunter, right? We talked about his improvement, the fact that with HooXi's addition, his individual rating actually went down while m0NESY's went up.
Yep.
But again, recently, the 2 quieter pieces of JKS and Hunter have found this new groove. And we're looking at a Hunter who is 12-6. If you're gonna wait until a semifinal to all of a sudden remind everybody that you also have that Kovac blood in you, well,
yeah.
Why not now?
And for Hunter, man, no trophies on G2. Won some, you know, big pie spot, but not
Where are you
tier
going?
1 events.
Kerrigan trying to climb the ladder, but Rain, well, look at this. A delivery in the form of not only a bomb, but an AK-47.
Yeah, what's key here is not to get too scared. Yes, the bomb's in view, but you almost know the CTs are going to probably give this up. You're just still looking for pushes and mistakes, and, well, the CTs still feel like they have something to do. So bomb can get recollected. But yeah, I mean, there was this one event, I think it was in Mykonos, that Hunter won. It doesn't even count as a trophy on HLTV, and he hasn't won any tier 1 events. The last 2 years, he's been a top 15 player. It's actually unbelievable. There's a huge chip on his shoulder. m0NESY, it's his rookie year. Niko, he won an event in Copenhagen in 2019 with Blast. HooXi, it's his first tier 1 team that he's calling for, at least major org, right? The Flames is the reason that he built up a resume in order to get this position. But he still has time to feel like he can get that trophy for himself. But Hunter is one of the last remaining players that you'd expect would have won multiple tier 1 events. Still looking to prove that he can.
Funnily enough, you know, JKS's last trophy win with FaZe.
Yes, and that was
Niko's last trophy win with FaZe.
With FaZe, yeah.
Both of them trying to rob that very same org. But here we have it, m0NESY, guess what? Lands a shot. And we've got another 20-second push from G2. Playing with the clock tonight, letting things go down smooth. Sure enough, Twist with the upgrade from the MP9 to the AK, but it's gonna be G2's lead established. You will not stop them from getting this 6-1, but you can have some freebies here, right? FaZe, they've worked for a couple guns. They better hope that there's still something left in this CT side.
There's part of me that believes the next round is going to be a lot faster from G2, and one where they got FaZe kind of worried about anything that can happen, but have them used to a very slow playstyle that's starting to get them this crawl back into the lead. And maybe it comes with a fake at first, but I think this is the opportunity to try to draw out as many grenades as possible while FaZe are just in this buy-save situation. 2-gun save will be massive to make sure they have the most amount of utility possible. I think now the belief is here for G2 to really make a run of things. It's an excellent veto where I feel like almost any map in this veto could go both ways. But still going to say that FaZe are obviously favored.
Right.
Especially, you know, it's a rematch, and even though G2 won a map there, nearly won both.
Let me just talk about the fact that this is FaZe's year. The most successful team across what has been a very unstable year.
Yes, and
regarding results. And you talked about the faster expectation. Well, Niko wasted no time trying to get over top of the silo, hoping that maybe Rain had tucked in or played passive, but now it's just gonna get cranked over towards the ramp.
HooXi.
Nice entry. Loses 90 HP, but still picks it up with that AK swing from Brokey, door closed.
Yeah,
so he just plucks the little that was left off of the play. Rain comes out with a second kill to his name, and now it's gonna have to be the m0NESY JKS comeback within round 12, or we're tied yet again. Kerrigan, fire on his feet.
Oh, see that molly.
And Kerrigan pushes ahead of it. Rips m0NESY's head clean off, and Brokey's got a second of his own. FaZe answer fast, almost as fast as G2 went swinging here in round 12.
That's no small frag. Even though that's a 4v2 situation and m0NESY gets control with his fresh molly and can get into control with that bomb plant going down, things get really ugly for FaZe fast. And the other thing is Rain. Not only does he get the opening kill of the round, but he hangs out in Big Garage even after killing the guy who's normally by himself, just to make sure that everything's secure outside. And Hunter's, yes, he's on a different lurk this round, looking to get involved way later on. They make sure to stop everything. That was a very tricky call from G2, and FaZe were on top of it once again.
Trying to stay steps ahead here, trying to keep this T side from bleeding majority round count. 3 left to play.
And I think when you try to establish that level of conditioning, you try something fast like that, it doesn't work. Well, now you kind of reset a little bit, okay? Gotta scare them again.
We got a double op here out of FaZe, and what do you know? The second AWP looking for that contact. Feels to me that here across World Finals, the double op setup, it's just been so much more prevalent for FaZe as of late. Hell, on Anubis, it's even twists.
Yeah, Rops has been picking it up a ton.
We'll see if anybody comes walking into that crosshair.
So again, Rain in this position shows us he's looking for lurks. We have the same heaven wrap smokes that come outside. But almost all these smokes, these different combinations, they're almost all fakes. They're either trying to call out whether someone can spot you from heaven on the cross, or if someone's going to walk through them, or if you're going to do a full cross outside. And they both work in multiple ways.
Brokey backs it up. Rain has died towards Garage, but with the fire on the feet of Brokey,
oh, that's big though. I mean,
needs to give up the angle.
Yeah, listen, niko now has control of Secret, right? They're scared of it. Oh, Rop's actually
Dangerous game.
trying to make a move.
While scoped in this whole time. I mean, talk about playing with blinders on, but he'll catch niko back turned. Kerrigan trying to press outwards. We've got 20 seconds left, and he gets ahead of the flashbang. It's going to be a quick little pop out towards that vent, and wow, 2 players do get down. Rops clips 1, but we've got a very hot firing Hunter into the clutch, and poor guy just wants that bomb plant, loses his face to the pistol of Rops. It's a 3K from Rops off the op, and now he too, right up there with Brokey towards the top of this board.
The tactic was actually really good, and they came out to the vents. Man, they had twist full blind upstairs. He has to spray, he misses a spray, an op shot gets missed towards him, and then when he wakes up, he's able to kill the second rifler who comes in and does damage to the first as well, so we get called out.
Look how quick that move is from Rops, right? From finding niko's back turned in Garage to just boom, being down on vent before they can even pop out Squeaky.
He's got skates on these days.
This one's looking fast though. JKS already out. Kerrigan completely blind, fire on his feet, and we've got the entry out from JKS. Kerrigan doesn't, oh, wait, no, he died in the corner. Rain picked up both those kills. Oh, and Brokey. Is that an op drive-by? m0NESY just gets smashed, and now niko also chopped down by that op. The skyward cover from Brokey. 2 kills to close out that 14th round and give FaZe the 8-6.
Yeah, I know it's getting perceptibly faster in G2, trying to throw out some things, a full upstairs exact. We haven't seen that from them, I think, since the pistol. No, the pistol was even a little bit slower. What a hold.
Bullet from Rain.
Yeah, wow. He knows he can disrespect that. He still has his top hut player. They don't clear it. They throw the Molotov that's leaning towards Squeaky Vent.
What a wild run from Brokey. I don't know if there's more fire on his feet or more fire on his fingertips. As he slams the AWP into the hut play, Twist's gonna open up 5v4 in an instant. As we're starting to close out this first half on Nuke G2, it was a success story, but now it's a measly couple of pistols between them and the end of this half. A 3-round lead looks likely, but m0NESY's gonna fight tooth and nail. Nice clean deke.
Yeah.
Serves up a distraction and further damage, not to mention, now he's got his paws on an op.
Yeah, his favorite weapon. Secured off a beautiful deagle shot. One situation where FaZe do not want to get caught off guard.
Oh, dude, and they know he's got that, right? There's no way to stop them from grabbing it off of Rops' corpse. That's a shiver down the spine of FaZe Clan. m0NESY doubles back. You do not want him on this AWP, and now that he's got one, he's gonna get his second kill in the round by clamping onto Kerrigan. JKS, smoke comes out, Twists, plays it passive, fire on his feet. They're piecing this together. They've managed to make this even. Rain, M4 response, and it's a m0NESY clutch attempt with bomb on his back. He runs downstairs. Now there's a ton of grenades for the CTs, and they hit him on the cross. Brokey with the dig out to give FaZe a 3-round lead and a chance at this T side. Out of Brokey to kick off that half. We had 4 round wins at the start for FaZe. We had 4 round wins at the end for FaZe. And despite the opening kills being 9-6 to the favor of G2, it's a score that's 9-6 to the favor of FaZe. So they clawed back some of those disadvantages. They clawed back the end of the half, and they've set themselves up quite nicely to give us an offense here. Looking to get revenge versus G2 here on Nuke, and already trying to press an advantage down into the ramp, but HooXi has other ideas. niko swings out the door. He's gonna get a long-range USP fight, loses his head. Rops and Rain combining for kills. Hunter takes his time, Rops doubles up, and now all of a sudden, it's advantage taken back. HooXi and m0NESY get their kills at a distance, and Broky's looking for back-to-back pistol clutches, but this time it's only 7 health. How little can he really do this with? He's got a minute to mastermind a situation, needs that bomb back, and also needs the CTs to make some kind of a mistake. One stray bullet connects to any part of his body, and the head's the best. m0NESY shuts it down, G2 answer quick.
That's right, teacher and student right there coming through in the 2vx. HooXi, he's starting to fry. These shots that he's hitting, I mean, even in that first half, he's getting key hard frags, and we're talking about headshots only, but look who's keeping up, man. Rob's going underneath on Decon, the opening to dismantle this really powerful setup. JKS with the first kill made niko think he could sit in the door and take as many shots as he needed to, because they were probably going to get one of the two. And instead, it's only one frag holding. So G2 get back into the game. They get CT side to work with. And FaZe, we'll see what kind of idea they can bring on these eco rounds. We've seen success from them getting deagles and then splitting up and working the map slowly. In this situation, it's even less of an investment. Rain will be the only one to take a liberty here.
Goes the space to come over top the secret stairs, but decides to play it a little more passive, and it's the fondness of JKS to find first blood in round 17. Oh, that's why. No need to peek. m0NESY's got the cross covered. But as m0NESY shuffles position, it maybe opens the likelihood that niko peeks over. And as he does, look at this! Freebies! Little Thomas mowdown for a triple kill. Makes the conversion look real easy. Kerrigan headhunting with the deagle inside of the ramp room, but you've got no bomb, you've got no teammates. Dare I say it, you got no damn chance. That's G2 with an 8 queued up. But Kerrigan's still going to try to mastermind at least a little more economic damage.
This round is just about getting kills. Make it costly. There's a pretty decent investment coming in. And we just see a bomb plant last round, but still. And no shot here, so 8 for G2. Looking to tie up once again. It's been tenuous every step of the way. So the first 6 rounds are 5-1, and then 6-1 back for FaZe. Must be so annoying for them. niko comes up the right side of the stairs, and they were both holding it from that corner, and one player on the left, and as soon as he went into the wall, he shows up. They can't even shoot through him. Almost want to talk about how good Thomas was, but I know better than that.
Bite your tongue. Galil and Tech9s, check this out. Fast clash. Hunter blind as a bat. HooXi, well, no need for him to come through because m0NESY's already got a double, and then Hunter gets a chance to regain vision and regain control of the situation. For a second, it looked like those Tech9s were popping him by surprise, but I don't even know where m0NESY came through with, if I'm being honest. Easy double for him, easy mowdown for G2, tying this game up, and a CT side that without a doubt could take off.
It really could. I want to know in their heart of hearts they feel like they can win now. FaZe were able to, they won Antwerp off the T side on this map. Of course, that famous Canada call from Kerrigan, the reason that Twist got play of the year. And we know they're not scared to play a T side to try to have to come back into a match. Twist has also been something of a second half player at this event, even when, as soon as we kind of pointed him out, which I'm not going to do this time. Well, maybe we should.
Rob's nearly, oh, there it is, second servings.
Yeah, Twist with the opener as well.
Damn. Nade finds HooXi, smoke spam finds JKS.
Yeah, and the kills make this so testy, right? They want to try to get space back, but coming forward with this play.
Kind of a cheesy kill, but on both sides of it, right? If one of those two things happens, it's maybe not so bad, but 3v5? Ooh, 3v5 plus m0NESY gets dropped. So Robs is powering up here on Nuke. Hunter's gonna get a chance to try and claw this back. It's the Kovac already trying to equalize things, but 3 stand tall from FaZe. Twist starting to activate. Gotta call it out. quiet first half.
Yes.
Starting to bring it back, okay? We gotta do it.
Like clockwork with this guy.
We kind of tiptoed around. No, call him out and look at him go. A nade off the vent.
It's the RPK nades.
Dunked upon his opponent.
In this round, they didn't even have to really work, you know. They just got through their one tactic. They split up a little bit. Robs gets his kill through his smoke. And so this is one where Kerrigan, he doesn't have to show any of his cards. You know, that's the scary part for FaZe, for G2. The buy in and now, of course. Ooh, not so comfortable here for the CT side. As soon as G2 touch on a lead in both halves right now. He gets robbed right back. They'll take a timeout to talk about things. And I think it was just a money talk, actually.
It's always about the money.
It is all about the money sometimes. Yeah, with G2, yeah.
You know?
But they get Mr. 600K, his favorite gun. I don't hear any FaZe fans out there.
Yeah, I don't know. There's that one guy. There's always at least one.
It's a very amicable audience, giving each other space. Okay, well, you know, this is not bad in terms of what they were able to afford. Oh, a huge disruption of the smoke.
Yikes.
That's gonna come from it. Maybe two, maybe three.
All day. But Twist actually off the top of red. We're getting a little push here. m0NESY connects into Rops. You've taken down FaZe's most successful player. And you've left this one on Brokey and Twists, but m0NESY easily queues up another. Twists delivers himself to the crosshair of the op, and now Brokey with a measly 6 HP and 4 opponents to take. Catches m0NESY in the open, but so be it. You're blind, you're surrounded, outnumbered, and soon to be a dead man. This is G2 to tie things up because niko disrupts the cross outside. I mean, just 2 sitting ducks.
Yeah, he has set that smoke out really fast as well. Or the molly, I should say. But it's just a perfect play, and they try to jump past it. Split ends right there. Twist doesn't have a deep enough angle from the top of red. And that cross stop is everything from niko. On top of the kills he gets by himself. I bet it's real, too.
Reinvestment out of FaZe. Everything they can afford here. A couple players limited with pistols. Robson Rain can sure swing in full force. Where's the contact? Ooh, little Rops creep.
Seriously, these two teams, they've just been going toe-to-toe.
Support coming from m0NESY. Sure, good thing he's there.
Yeah, it's with the swing, so.
Felt like JKS was ready for the fight, but Rops just gets the headshot first.
I think they were trying to enact a switch right there. So at least for the CT side, they go 1 for 1.
Utility pressure outside, variation on the wall of smokes. And this time, niko will not be given a gigantic gap to exploit. So Rain will have a bit more room to wiggle, and as he tries to press in through Mini, it's HooXi with the instant execution.
They've got so many things covered right now.
Kerrigan's still inside of the hut. Brokey's Deagle's pressing out. Hunter, oh, it's clean! Twist's head taken off. Kerrigan, well, he has slipped beyond G2, so maybe he can catch somebody off, but Hunter seems alert. Incredibly sharp at the moment.
Yeah. Of course, that smoke connecting these 2 pushes.
That's a 3rd.
Yeah, well.
And an 11th to G2's camp.
Well done there. I think HooXi, again, another key moment, right? Catching the smoke push timing, but it's because he's doubled up inside of Mini with Hunter, so they can both watch Squeaky when the pressure's coming that way. And when there's pressure on Squeaky, it's usually to pull the attention of the Mini player. But because they have both things covered, he can turn around safely. And then it activates both sides. Now, of course, not so much money there for FaZe Clan, but because it is a full buy, FaZe Clan come into this with almost nothing. G2 can now maybe get 2 steps away from FaZe, which would be the farthest they've been so far this game.
Trying to pull ahead, trying to get off that runway.
Yeah.
FaZe holding on to their ankles and keeping them grounded. Can G2 kick them off right here, right now? Round 22 and Rain close again. Shout out HooXi for stuffing the Mini play. JKS doubles down here inside of the ramp. Him and m0NESY, just a brick wall on the defense. And this time there's 0 casualties. So Hunter feels as though he can grab some space. 1-tap execution into the big brain of Kerrigan. That watermelon head got smashed. And Rain, all that's left over. He's finally not stuffed outdoors, but left to try and reclaim it all. And he will still find Hunter. At the very least, 1 kill. But it is that 2-round advantage for the first time.
It's crazy that FaZe look good and still G2 are just simply keeping up. Speaking to, again, the recent successes on Nuke. A revitalized roster. Now it feels like G2, I don't know how often they would make roster moves. We know that they move fast when it comes to it. They don't take failures lightly. And ending a year on a bad event, I feel like that could have changed the whole game for them and their team. Everything would be up for question. They'd be sitting there on the break wondering, what does the org want to do? But G2 here is showing what they have already, putting up great arguments for themselves. And I'm sure Hooksy as himself, you know, just at individual level, the team results, nothing is favoring him as an IGL. And you're like kind of the first guy that everyone talks about. He's come under heat, but really has pulled his own weight individually. So what's the call here from FaZe Clan? They're also a team that like to try to play fast on T sides.
Honestly, real quick with it. Oh, Rain! Oh, he gets a little space, flies over top of Mini, but spinal tap out of Monacy means he can go no further. They're going to try to transition into the ramp push. JK, yes! Delivers a triple! 1, 2, 3. No chance at pushing past him. Ice cold every time.
Every time. That's disgusting. He gets into a spot where he's about to jump up on the box to go for a headshot angle, not in his comfort zone, and still delivers that enormous moment. JKS has been moving mountains in some of these games. 17 and 14 now. And this one's for 13 on map 1. Kerrigan.
Timing.
Yeah, that's it. First kill, but no bomb secured.
Kerrigan not expecting the next one on the left, so sure enough, it's a 4K from JKS.
Has Sponge landed yet? Is he watching
Hopefully,
this?
hopefully, the immovable piece of this ramp hold. And sometimes, you know, it's Monacy right here with him, the duality of that. But I mean, JKS, look at him sectioning off these duels.
That's disgusting. Again, it feels like the A4 is just blessing JKS
So sick.
in such a big way.
He was never meant to change, and now he's back. And FaZe back to desperation, quadruple Tech 9 buy. And G2 starting to pull ahead on the CT side. One singular terrorist round win from FaZe. No additional bomb plants, but Kerrigan swoops in from Mini, and Hunter strikes them down from the top of that hut. Now we've got guns for FaZe, and JKS, nearly slain already, commits and cannot kill. It is FaZe to chop it back at least by 1.
What on earth just happened? Rain with the 2 kills on the upper side. It was so fast, I have no idea. I have no idea, but it's that snap call, the brute force move, and G2 got to be pissed. That was the eco in between the buys. They were on such a good streak, and look at this kill from Kerrigan. 2 rounds in a row, Niko dies like this.
Nice double out of Rain as well. That snap up.
Gotta make sure there's no dent in his desk. That is not a fun way to go.
So, a quick reminder to G2 and their fan base. FaZe have got the talent as well. Rops, oh my God, we're looking at a T. I thought this was a defensive player.
What is happening right here?
He slides out through the squeaky smoke, so there's still a CT back on that vent, but hit by the nade.
Yeah, he's in such a bad spot now.
So desperate, not gonna get away.
It's insane, but he needed to strike on the first opportunity. Then his team could join him. But before that, it only gets riskier. And look who hasn't moved at all. Monacy, can he even get back? No, that was risky for him to do.
Twists closes in on him. Kerrigan also just got another. We've got Hooksy on 8 health. Can Justin do it again at a distance? And the A1S gets away from him. He knew his bullets were limited. Hooksy tries to slide around Mini, but they can't stop that bomb from going down. FaZe will find 12.
Yeah, I think Monacy makes a bad move right there. He doesn't want to go for the decon rotation, but to get down the control stairs such a far distance, he would have had to hope that they missed. But of course they're going to try to chase him down. That molly is so fresh, it's not even going to do that much damage. You know, you could kind of see it when you're watching that happen. I think Monacy knows that he's about to die as well. And if he gets the control, he has a better round. But we can see that the round is up for grabs once he dies. Another huge round from FaZe. Faltering now are G2. And things are expensive on CT side. Who gave JKS that A1S?
Right? Yeah. Don't they know? Haven't they gotten the memo? He is the A4. Another fast one out of FaZe.
Things have become more dubious than ever.
They've just been throwing fuel on the fire of this comeback. 2 rounds in a row, finally, for FaZe in the second half. And they've got G2 on a wobbly economy. So we'll get a couple of guns, some grenades, and I love this. Something different to try and catch the outer play off guard. Limited tools, why not?
Yeah, this is a sweaty boost of the day. Niko's gonna have to hit the showers if he makes a round of this.
Kerrigan's coming, but
yeah, they're listening.
He's gonna hear that.
Oh, what a shot!
There's
Ow.
no way.
He's just not ready for it, obviously, because who is? No one's ever played there before.
Wait, Hooksy, 2 players pass, but he gets bottled by Brokey. Pistol can't maintain that bomb site, but Hooksy could still be problematic. Twist toys with him, cuts him down to a quarter health. Hunter will find one off of just that sidearm, and that's a weapon picked up, but guess what? Kerrigan's gonna find a back turned, or is he? Hooksy looks his direction, but they can't stop the bomb from going down, and despite Hunter's best efforts to get better weapons, it is in fact a tied game, 13-all.
3 massive calls in a row from Kerrigan, and FaZe Clan have finally broken the economy of G2 at a point where they can once again take a lead in this map. That's unreal. It's been the outside plays like you talked about. They're looking for a new way to get the kill because FaZe right now have done a great job of establishing all their default grenades, getting a lurk off, putting pressure on Mini to kill niko 2 rounds in a row, that outside player. That netted them 2 rounds back to back. Now things have become ugly for G2 once again. We do have an exchange of weapons here.
Watch this.
And they must drop. That's just ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. And it feels like Brokey yesterday wouldn't hit that shot. You know, he's been pretty good, but not that good. But this is Brokey, fall finals Brokey, rest of the year Brokey.
Back to top
tier
form.
Brokey.
Wow. Rio changed him.
Because he doesn't waste any energy talking. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it all goes into the flick.
All of his brain cells are focused on Counter-Strike.
Meanwhile, my last 2 are trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, right. Another day, another demo.
Okay, man. That's messed up.
Oh, and he can juggle too. Gonna load him up on the rooftop. Finally, something a little slower in the contrast of the last couple. Oh, I love it. Oh,
niko, man, he is just getting bullied right now in this position in yard.
Powering up, but m0NESY is going to get the better of his counterpart, and a second against Kerrigan. Needed to reclaim space outside. 2 shots, 2 kills, man advantage G2 off the back of it. But there is still rain.
Yeah, up in the clouds. Here he is, looking to drop down from above.
And Hooksy had to move forward, needed to make sure that he's tucked in, didn't want to be killed from above. And G2 is looking to still, even with man advantage, play it active. Robs awaits something, but from when and where? Hooksy just gets around, that's wild! And then he gets caught on the ladder! But there's still a chance because Twist closes the distance and Rain cover from above! And then he sees the man towards Mini but can't stop it!
His own
Time
volley.
for the magic! A singular 1v1, but against one of the best in the clutch.
Oh my god.
m0NESY doubles it back, and it's a headshot from Van Dalken! 14 for FaZe! Lead to the T side!
That's m0NESY calling out his rotation out, but Twist not wasting any space. Perfect crosshair placement right to the head, just in case he was making that play. But the whole round is based around this move from Rain. 2 extra players were there outside. Hunter, he runs into the molly to get that kill. It still helps out a ton, and there is a world right beside ours where m0NESY wins that round. He placed a 1v1 correctly. But that's FaZe Clan with 14. That's all that matters. I was wondering how G2, did they take out alone? How the hell did they pull out a bye last round? Well, now they've got to defend against match point. Still, timeouts here towards the end of the game. A third of fourth used for G2. And what's been good? They've been able to get their best player, his best gun. m0NESY did what he could last round. He definitely put himself in a good spot. niko has been just getting destroyed. And honestly, he's not even having a chance to shoot back in some of these situations. I would say he's like failing outside, but at the same time, you got to credit FaZe. It's been one bullet to the head, no matter what angle. They're dropping down from above, running out to the side, holding their gun sideways.
Rain just swinging with the bat, but what about pistols? The prowess of the pistols.
They're coming down.
They drop down ladder. How does he manage a kill like that? AK from HooXi recovers, and G2 out of nowhere.
Oh, they've got a little bit on a low buy too.
Pop, pop with the pistols, and we've got another tied game.
It felt like all the X Factor was in FaZe.
That's so sick.
Wow.
And Brokey just swoops in down the ladder like Batman.
A massive risk to try to do this, and he gets a kill off of it. And HooXi with his spray transfer, and you gotta say, sometimes he hits a spray transfer or two. Wow. Now this goes 30 rounds.
Oh, that's so good.
And we saw the reaction out of HooXi the last time they won a match. G2 are absorbing all of the energy. Every iota that comes out of these wins, it means the world to them.
30-round game.
Yeah, with that round win, two teams full buy. How have G2 managed to put together an op buy with armor on every single player and rifles for these last 4 rounds? They've been able to keep up. One eco in there, and everybody fans out. It's a total reset.
Oh,
and niko wins his.
But there's still the answer back, but at least he gets the one, right? We've seen him do less as of late. Rain barely off the mark with that.
Seriously.
What a robbery it could have been to get a kill through that smoke. Hunter tries to just intimidate them. And from an immediate clash out of the gate to just silence yet again, we've got dwindling bits of utility on both teams.
Oh man, and m0NESY, he's looking for contact.
It's a deep angle, right? You think Rain walks right into this. He's on the precipice, twists with him, and it's a missed shot. He doesn't get away!
Into the back of the head, m0NESY's out.
And with another smoke ahead of it, HooXi's drawn to the flame, and now he's dead as well. Rain's coming out with a big bit of impact, and they've lost track of Hunter, but what if he comes swooping upwards?
Oh, A-site was vacant. One walks by.
What if he finds him with backs turned?
He's being careful about this, but you know what he wants.
He wants an angle and a timing, and has at least gotten the first. Molly ahead of him, sees the gun, executes twist first and foremost, tries to wrap it back around the hut, but the heaven support, that could be the bigger difference maker. Rob's dead! Hunter continues to thrive until Brokey puts him down, and it's time for the ice-cold JKS to try and come through. This isn't ramp, this isn't his wheelhouse, but it's still a chance to shine. And Brokey doesn't know where he's at. A peek out with the 8-4, sees him up in heaven, and he nails it! He nails it! He beats his chest! The Savage comes through!
The clutch for match point. The closer.
So good with that M4A4.
Wow.
There's nobody cleaner.
What just happened there? Even a bad jump. As the first spray comes out, and we've got a puck.
Resets it.
Oh, Rain could have just continued with the spray. Don't give him an inch. Now it's half by FaZe Clan.
Look at him. Thriving.
Oh, we finally see some teeth, huh?
And FaZe, desperate to try and extend play. It's a closer affair, but it's a ton of damage. They're gonna try to test them again. What a mistake! Another triple! And G2, 2 kills away. The nade nearly blows away Brokey. All he wants is a bomb plant to try and set up Rops. But will he even get that? G2 want revenge. And HooXi kills Rops. Down he goes! It's G2 to strike first in the semifinals! final, as they will be a map away from taking on Liquid at the end. 16-14, Nuke belongs to this team.
Yeah, they proved it. That's 4 maps in a row, 2 wins over FaZe. And JKS said, I'm going to show you guys how I helped you win Katowice. Unreal performance from him with a clutch on round 30, the individual level from G2 coming through after some great calls that got them through to that point.
It's crazy. When we arrive in Abu Dhabi, we start to see the glimpse of improvement from who other than Hunter and JKS. Well, 28 and 26 kills between them. Stellar performance from G2. And we'll hand this down to James.
Swally, I gotta just start by asking, mouse wheel jump seems to be your friend.
Yeah. He's mouse wheel jumped twice and he still got 4Ks, 3Ks, so it's all good.
But this was a much closer affair this time on you. You picked into it again. It's been a great map. You haven't lost it, right? We're on a great win streak for the team. But was there a slight bit of nervousness in the risk and how FaZe Clan were adapting? Because they really pushed you this time.
Yeah, they are playing really good. It was a grind, but we still think we are better than them on the map, so we don't care too much.
Now coming into map 2, how is it going to be different? It was so close last time. You had that overtime game. You could have been able to walk away with the win. What's going to be the difference?
The difference is that we win the clutches this time. Like the last time we lost all the 2 reviews and that lost the map, but now we will win the clutches and go to CO.
And what's the mood like? Talk to me about the feeling with the guys.
Really good. We are joking a lot even when we lose rounds, like we're just having fun.
Or just having fun. Well, let's see if that fun continues. Thank you very much, brother.
An absolute absolute nail-biter, and we would not want it any other way. Once again, G2 taking down FaZe on map number 1, and once again, G2 proving their pure prowess on the grounds of Nuke. It came down to the heroics. It certainly came down to the clutches, Jacob. What an incredible tale that was told on that first
That was
map.
one of the best games I've seen all tournament long. It was back and forth. Both teams were in it. Both teams were out of it. It felt like FaZe have done enough to come back into the game and close it out. We talk about FaZe being this clutch team. They like to play from behind in a way, right? We always see them scramble their way back into the games. This time around, they did it again, but then something happened, Matthew. Something happened that was not supposed to happen.
And I still struggle to grasp what we witnessed, the madness towards the very end. Listen, in the 12 maps that G2 and FaZe have played against each other this whole year, anytime a game was going to 30 rounds or more, FaZe was winning. This is the first time G2 is able to win against FaZe past the 30, 16, 14, and man, they did it with style.
Let's talk about that final nail in the coffin that we definitely didn't see coming in that eco play. Huge clutch from JKS.
Yeah, I mean, let's shout out JKS. Let's have a look at the madness of round 29, which really, truly, rationally is really complicated for me to explain. This 2v4 here, we have Hunter pushing it into door, catching a twist that is somehow unsuspecting of the situation, but still here. I don't understand why Hunter is allowed to get this kill onto Robs. That should have been enough. The trade comes in from Brokey, and now JKS is alone, and he plays it super smart. He slows down a little bit. He tries to localize his last few opponents. A little bit of luck on that timing here. He beats Brokey, to the punch, and then when he knows he's got to take the duel, he goes in, and then the blunder comes in. Rain had all the chances in the world. JKS could even jump with his mouse, and he failed. And Jacob, that had consequence the last round as well.
Yeah, because there was no money left. Look at this buy on left side of your screen. It's Tech 9s all over the place, and guess who is once again shutting it down? JKS on ramp had a fantastic showing on the CT side and single-handedly won G2 this game in the last couple of rounds. I do want to circle back to that clutch just a little bit, because you question mark the decision-making coming out of FaZe. Rain, of course, doing a mess-up in him, and we cannot argue that whatsoever, but Brokey jumping on side back and forth like a chicken, constantly telling where I am at all times by making sounds. I'm not sure why
And that was
Brokey
a
would
big
do
story.
that. He
Now,
put
there are
Rain
some
on the
serious clutches on the other side, so I'm not surprised.
Well, map 2, ready to go. Away we go to Inferno.
A massive opportunity here for the underdogs and FaZe to prove that they can make it worse than it was last time, because last time was too damn close.
Right away, silence. Let that pressure mount. G2's pistol stats have been very good so far at World Finals. They're going to lean back into that triple B setup. I was like, where's the fifth? But okay, it's 2 inside the apps.
Well, FaZe are getting what they want. G2, I might know, based on the nothing that's happening, that it's just a slow crawling T side.
And where the hell are they, FaZe?
Yeah.
Worried, but you know that at some point you're gonna round a corner and the gunshots are gonna start. Twist picks up the first blood. Hunter, nice trade back, doubles it. A little glance towards Pitts and a duel that doesn't go his way, but at least he's still alive. We've got the bomb down inside sight.
Yeah, he's also got this bought up in apps that's going to just be so annoying for your big player, but now they get him.
And Brokey just caught Monacy turning his head. So the dual Berettas hit the ground, and niko starting to try and combine with Hooksy here. It's a 2 versus 4 with a kill already queued up. And Kerrigan currently stuck behind that pillar. Hooksy closes the gap, sprinting into the site. Point blank, Glock prevails, and niko will not find success. So it is FaZe to get that pistol win. And honestly, they squeeze their way step by step into that A site before finally fighting for it all.
Yeah. Right there, FaZe didn't have any specific read on the round. Maybe they thought it was going to be some kind of barrel down mid, so they didn't get that. G2 tried to stay 1 step ahead. And we have a situation where finally that push, that setup inside of the halls starts to get uncomfortable. They go look for more info. They're thinking maybe it's going to be a B play. Let's go clear out the apps, and then maybe we can rotate over. Hopefully our 3B setup call is the right one. and the hold isn't quite good enough. Twist finds his timing. Bai comes forward. And G2, well, they have put something into this. Interestingly, niko has dropped the FaMAS to JKS and is deagling. And JKS doesn't even have armor yet. I wonder if this is fully intentional.
There's the armor.
The rest of the pieces come in. We'll see the setups. I like the half-buy setups from G2 on this map. They're one of the best teams, in my opinion, holding on to bracket control with very low guns. They like to have a 4-stack in there. They've had, every iteration of G2 has had a really good kind of forward aggressive mid-control setup on this map. In this situation, they're spreading out 2-3. Trying to find some action on the push, but the initial car molly just to say, hey, we're not done waiting. We want to still be patient about our approach.
Nade goes too deep.
And you know, niko's got laser beams when it comes to looking down banana, no matter what gun it is.
Yeah. His deagle scares me.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets a glimpse of twists, but then the smoke blocks it all off, so they'll disengage.
Held that smoke for quite some time, you know, and we've got some good info here from niko in this position. FaZe got to be careful about when they allow these things to take place. Real significant advantages. FaZe trying to make some intentions, but just with 1 or 2 players making noise, nothing more. Now that bracket control comes through.
JKS up and above. See if the FaMAS can shine. It's contact versus Kerrigan and his Mac 10. We're going to get this wraparound while the smokes are up. But if all of a sudden there's a stall here, things can get sketchy. And with that smoke, that's exactly what they were looking for. Something to hold FaZe at bay. Kerrigan.
They didn't clear cold.
Nope. JKS catches him, and then Monacy in the back pocket, a triple! JKS again! That FaMAS worth its weight in gold. Twist is gonna have to recover with a 1v5. And while the rifle goes down, he still doesn't even have that bomb. Monacy's a second target, nice and easy. Twists working. And all of a sudden, G2 cannot assume this one's in the bag. It's the little pit player that ends it.
Wow.
Hunter with an execution, but a triple kill from JKS is big.
Yeah, it's a team full of stars. JKS right now is one of the brightest, was the MVP of the match over on Nuke, and just continues on. And I think Hooksy, the hardest part of this, he's got to figure out new ways to complement his teammates. You know, every single round he's blown away by what they can do. And in this spot, Kerrigan goes wide around a box where JKS is completely blind and could have been taken out, and then he gets distracted by someone back sight. And then it's just way too easy for JKS.
See the shock in Rops's eyes. He's thinking probably Monacy back sight. As the guy Kerrigan looked to duel with. So pistol doesn't mean much in the face of JKS. It's a free AK-47, a free Galil. Supplements G2's economy nicely, and the force buyback from FaZe nets them nothing out the gate. See if they can press up into the banana. Hooksy's ready to try and set up niko.
And again, it was niko who made presence, looked down banana, found a way to get in there with nothing to work with, just one smoke in his hand.
Excellent flash. They can't see Jack. And then Kerrigan's actually ends up affecting Rain. 35 bullets, not enough for 4 kills.
They got to buff the Galil, man.
Yeah, give it a 50 bullet mag.
Yeah, but that was it, right? The fact of the matter is, people have to spend so much money to get banana control just for the one privilege of being able to look past the half wall and clear out logs and bell. And in that last round, niko did with the deagle, one smoke in his hand, no assistance, no retake nades. They just waited it out, and FaZe gave him that respect and then moved into the A site. And then Hooksy came over to smoke Moto to assist his 8 players, and there were still 3 on that site. So they went into the harder site. They didn't really gorge any rotates and make them get back to the B site to overstack. And that's a round that you could do it. So FaZe made that a little easy for G2. And of course, the FaMAS, the one rifle around, was in the right hands apparently. But we have to pay attention constantly to niko playing on banana, how constantly he will do it, and how much success it will have. Because he's always successful, of course, but that directly correlates with how many rounds they're going to win, 100%. Most important part of the map by far.
think one that also had kind of like a glaring issue back when Hooksy had these real individual problems.
Yes.
You know, like what a contrast, the duality of man between Hooksy and niko over on that site, but he's come into his own, and honestly, if your job is just to set up niko to shine, he does it nicely. We get a quick little mow down towards the top of mid to give G2 their third.
We've seen different teams take different approaches to how many M4 silenced M4s they have on Inferno, but G2 right here, they've got a lot of A4s going on.
Well, I mean, that's because JKS is a walking, talking A4 commercial as of late.
How could you not be influenced having him on your team? Wow, that's a pretty damn good start. They get the eco, recover into 3-1. They're up a map right now. Full buy-in from FaZe, no ops involved.
It's flowing.
Honesties.
Right, G2, they can see it. They can feel it.
And so again, we're getting another look here on Banana.
Honestly, nice clean kill versus Twists.
That does nothing. FaZe go right for bracket. It's a pretty vanilla setup there. An open shot for Monacy. And they won Banana severely, so we look at the map right now for G2.
Rain got through that arch smoke, but then doubled back right through it.
And they knew they could actually just pull goalie for this long because of how clearly FaZe were taking bracket.
Ooh, Rain, nice patience, but that's going to magnetize the T's, and there's more bodies here from the defense. Monacy clips Rops on the edge of the boiler, but at least FaZe have been able to find a way to even things out 3v3. Rain sticks around again. Ooh, but he jumps! He thought for a second he could catch another player, and it was almost there, but Monacy just gives himself an extra second. niko gonna hear the audio on that cross, but it is still FaZe to get deep into the site. I mean, Kerrigan's running this every step of the way, so niko on high alert, prepared for this peak. Oh, Kerrigan! Nice headshot off that AK. Him and Brokey, 2v2 now. And we've got a sea of utility from G2 to try and press this one forward. That smoke goes out towards Banana, indicative of the fact that they don't know where the second terrorist got off to. When in reality, FaZe lean back into the shadows, into the darkness of the bomb site. Brokey awaits that first peek. Kerrigan could then try and come through with a clutch, and Brokey's gonna go ahead and do it on his own. There's the trade back from JKS. He goes for the kill, but it's a double out of Kerrigan. Nice clean headshots versus niko and JKS to give FaZe number 2.
Yeah, that was hot, man. The fact that Kerrigan took that duel, ran into construction and said, no, niko, you're not swinging with me. And I think niko got caught on something and then decided to not swing for that moment, but still knew he had run up that bar. Just won that duel, 50-50 versus niko, who decided to play and retake. That's it. That's the 2v2 suddenly. Post-plant is favored towards the T's, and they're both playing spots that are commonly mollied out, but there's no utility here for G2 to get them out of those spots for free. Wow, the fact that they win that back because of Rain's patience inside of mid. His 2K. Pretty decent HE here for out of niko. FaZe still showing they have teeth. And now a huge win for Brokey as he gets to pick up the op that's delivered to him. Again, this op is so key in the post plan in almost no other situation. We'll leave it to the riflers to try to crack open the sights. Already seen an eco out of G2 on this run. They've got more than that.
Brackets and Arch have been more occupied than this. See how far FaZe extend. Obviously, bomb's still elsewhere, so Kerrigan sizing up this split. At the moment, Hunter fully exposed. We're at that critical 30-second mark. Nice adjustment out of Twist, but there's the activation from Hunter. Twist gets himself a second and an assist, and that B site just crumbles from the split. Looked like Hunter was almost going to get ahead of it. Makes you wonder if that flank wasn't coming through. Is Kerrigan going to get Twist get every kill?
Yeah, it's a good question. A Twist, if there's one word to define him these days, it's critical. These moments, and especially when he gets hit first. It's like when he has low HP, that's when he's at his best. A pretty crazy second frag.
So we're going to be nice and tied up early here, 3 rounds each.
Yeah, and it was a good counter. I mean, there was no arch presence here from G2 at all. They left it. No one in Cubby, no one holding from library, no one watching the CT cross. And that was G2's risk in that round. The one thing they were leaving open, honestly, is the thing that FaZe liked the most. They're a team that are abusing arch more than almost anybody else. They're trying to go for arch wraps to 8. They're one of the few teams that actually still consistently wrap from arch into CT spawn, which is the reason that people don't do that as much is because it just takes forever. You have to do it a little earlier than you have to do normal executes, and there's way more ways to die. Anywhere on Speedway, sometimes you get a rotator walking back and they hear something. You've seen that. They hug the wall. They're walking around from the other side. There's too many angles to clear. So you have to do it on a round where you know that you're going to have them passive, that they don't know you're doing it, or you have the numbers on your side. But FaZe are very comfortable in that zone, and they prove to find success in that position. I think that was a problem for Liquid when FaZe played against them in that 65 match here at the World Final earlier.
That A4 set up, nice flash. The timing's excellent. The lineup's right there.
Wow.
Oh, Rops able to recover it, but still, right? You're just trying to get that one M4 into a position to shine, and it works wonderfully. Rops does get down, though. Could be unknown to G2. Reinforcements, but look, Rops actually just left the apartment with no bomb! And a bombshell from Hunter! Double kill CZ. They just took all the wind out of FaZe's sails.
That was like twist from the side with that CZ, and I can't believe JKS nearly gets 3 kills here. Blind, sees one on the left, sprays down the first 2, and then transfers and tries to get Rops. Rops getting into pit was a massive play, but they had no idea about Hunter. He didn't move a muscle when they made that move to flash Rops into the pit. He just chilled. And now FaZe are on ice.
Ooh, that throws a wrench in the works, right?
Wow.
We heard it from them after the match, right? Finally on Nuke this series, some clutches go our ways.
Yeah.
Can't forget they also pulled off a round like that in a lobby crunch on Nuke. Well, here we are, early days on Inferno, and we're getting these X Factor moments coming out of G2. The rounds that usually slip away from them are instead their strength.
Yeah, a few situations, less money spent, and you still think that G2 are going to find a way to do it. In these last few rounds, they've had different setups every single time. The idea and the timing there was obviously perfect. If they waited an extra second, almost certainly someone's going to be anti-flash, but JKS just gets right out there. When are we going to stop saying this guy's name? Oh! Well, for better or worse.
Sit down. You don't want to make Brokey mad. Kerrigan inspired. There's a nice dink, but it actually only does 13 damage. Modesty kind of getting away with that one. Brokey comes out, a second Deagle headshot connects. And look what's next. FaZe just eject.
Yeah, and right now they're worried about a lurk. And again, because the amount of time that FaZe actually try to exploit an arch timing, you have this being respected. We don't know where this round will end up.
Listen, it's a good call. Take your time here. FaZe getting fancy. Oh, twist!
One.
Just sitting and waiting and strikes down Hunter. But if they're under the assumption that players from G2 would have already gone over towards B, it's not entirely the case. The flash is in the pocket. They come flying forward on him. Oh, he drops that bomb on Twist and almost gives up another, but Brokey gets himself a third Deagle headshot in round 8.
Every single kill has been with a Deagle. Twist plus Brokey combining for 4.
I tried to paint this picture that, you know, these X Factor moments are all going G2's way tonight. Well, FaZe decide to take one back to their own favor, but they're not done just yet. No, sir. They don't know where niko's coming in from. They don't know if niko's even coming. But he's knocking on the door. Getting dangerously close. Frag goes out, no kit, and he gets blindsided by Brokey. Huge moment for Brokey. Wow. Triple Deagle kills and a closer to tie us up at 4.
It's always got to be close with these two. So much money here for FaZe Clan after winning that last round. And the op handed over once again.
Patience pays off for Twist.
Yeah, seriously. That adjustment. It had to be on the first try. Do a great job avoiding m0NESY as well as they're jumping out. He knows this has work cut out for them. When there's 3 pistols running at him like banelings, they could be anywhere. They've got nothing to lose. They're going to try to trade as soon as possible. Willing to risk one as well. G2's buy is bad again. But how bad does it need to be?
Right. Is this still enough? Trio, oh, no, quad of smokes. So we'll see if this one gets whittled down to the wire.
Seeing how this setup transitions is going to be very interesting.
Hooksy the backbone of this play. He comes around the corner. Ooh, no kill. It's a clean pickup from Twists, and obviously he knows that Hunter's not 12 feet tall. There's one of those smokes to try and slow things down. JKS lethal in this position with this pistol.
Hold on.
And m0NESY's got that AWP. All of a sudden they get kind of stalled out by that op.
Yeah,
and JKS kills Brokey and Kerrigan.
No.
5-7 from balcony in the hands of JKS is nearly as good as any other gun. His 10th kill already queued up, but they don't know if there's more. Obviously seeing bomb on short indicates the play, the intention. And now, of course, more presence, but Rops will try to save the day alongside Twists. Niko's back in sight, pops up, and gets taken down. Little bits of HP, all that's left. So now Hooksy could get a chance. He's got 1 kill so far on Inferno, and he's gonna look to come at this from an unexpected angle. The problem for him is that he has to play it fast. There's no kit currently on him. But how little HP is too little HP? And can he catch somebody not looking? Can he fly down into the cover once he makes his contact? Oh no, not today!
Oh.
Rops, instant headshot in between him and Twist, the full house.
I can't believe that, man. Twist, once again, he gets some kind of buff. Every time he gets tagged down and then just goes into this heroic mode. He's up to 10 kills. Each one of those critical again. And Rops right here. Honestly, did a play need to be made was the question. Right, JKS already got his 2. They were overstacked on the correct site. The time is coming down, and you still expect to win. No doubt. You still think you have outs. But that's another situation where G2 push and FaZe capitalize. That one might be a little bit tougher to stomach. We've had a variety of half-buy setups here from G2. Every single one of them has been different. And that one, even the first idea with the boost from Hunter, doesn't even go right. And they still make it that close.
Yeah, shame that his M4 doesn't actually pick anything up. 5-7 sure did. So, cue the USP feed. Rain. Oof. Just 2. But it all gets cleaned up in the end. FaZe get through relatively unscathed. 4 survive, 100 health, and FaZe will take a 6th terrorist round win. So get those USPs out of here.
Yeah, credit. The idea's been there. They brought new things every single time, so that's cool. But now they get to go into another buy.
No, nobody can sit here and say that G2 aren't trying every single round.
I feel like this round is going to be about the op, whether it's G2 trying to get the op out of Brokey or Brokey winning the round. FaZe have shown that they can break their way into bomb sites. But so many of these situations are just breaking down into like such new positions that you almost never see. Ooh, at Brokey, there it is, that op.
m0NESY's gonna try to peek mid.
Hunter is extremely potent on that push. And they don't have to deal with it this time. Inferno can be a map where it's very hard to find the gap. You almost always want to get into halls, but you never know when that push is being waited for. So you've seen this before. Little pressure, bottom of banana. How do you push them back? And where do you go from here?
close to it. But careful, Rain. How much further is JKS gonna adventure?
Yeah, this hasn't hit that too many times. Oh,
yeah.
Little hat pops up.
Luckily, he's got Robs to kind of keep a guard on him.
But interestingly enough, and this rotation will actually be listened to. Hoaxy making his way over. Yeah, they just heard that, I think, and they're just trying to avoid the play now.
All the way deep. Ooh, didn't fully
Wait, they're
clear
coming
it.
back.
And if they think that's the only player, then they are incredibly wrong. Hooksy's gonna throw the flash out. Twist actually kills him. They know they know he's pinned in here, but can they? Yes, they will.
Wow.
Deal with him. Twists takes it into his own hands. Gets 2 kills critically in that bomb site, because when they started to double back towards B, man, my hair stood up.
Yeah, seriously, that was because Kerrigan didn't see anything. He was kind of trying to get through to go die to see how many players were going to shoot back at him, but they heard that Hoaxy rotation come through, and Hoaxy's not there, and niko's all the way in the back of the site, so they thought that G2 gambled. And it comes way down to the wire. But you got to trust in Twist, man. Look at him go in these mid-round moments.
Gets dinked there as well, right? That's a headshot as he's crouching up and down. So FaZe all of a sudden starting to really take off. They've got another freebie queued up here. Pistol arrows just completely shredded. It's another attempted push down mid. And it's another chance for Twist to collect those kills. 8 early on this T side, right? Our analyst talked about it, right? A win on Nuke basically just guarantees that at worst case, it goes to a 3rd map, and right now it's kind of starting to feel that way. There's been some close moments. We've got, of course, JKS and m0NESY and Hunter still shining, but the round count's getting racked up at the moment.
Hoaxy reeling at the thought of another save. The amount of ingenuity he's had to have to be able to bring a new idea every time. They come close, but they let it go, and then they have to half buy or save again. At some point, you're going to get depleted. Rounds like that already look a little bit more racy. Can't let those close moments go.
What is this lineup?
I don't even know.
What am I looking at? Is that a banana spam for the apartments?
Feels like he's aiming too high. I need to take another look at that. That was ridiculous.
He's doing it again.
Can that hit to the top of the half wall? What am I? That would be absurd. I'm not ready for that right now. Oh, niko goes down.
Twist gets the entry.
Oh, Twist again.
Double kill up banana, and look at this. It's a runway into the B site. If a 3rd player's here, he's further back. Twist's gonna get tagged down to 36, and he'll get away with it.
He's won the round. They kill niko at the bottom of B and his backup support, the 2nd line of defense, at the same time.
Launders, Brokey is spamming banana from apartments.
Is he? That's just that. It looks like he's on the 2nd floor and still aiming kind of high. How the hell does that work out?
I'm sorry, how long has Inferno been a competitive map? And why have we never seen this before?
I have no idea.
You saw all these m0NESY gimmicks. Can't let him be the only one pulling out
True.
weird, map knowledge at an all-time high. We've hit a point now where you've got to try and milk every single gimmick.
Well, at least there's now a use for the T apartments that far back in the mid-round. That's good. Largely unexplored. Man, Twist just literally winning these rounds by himself. He's more than one map he's done that so far, the World Final. It's a CT side rating that's actually been the highest for FaZe.
Okay.
By quite a big margin. There's Robs on the T side with the amazing T side so far, and that map on Inferno where it was all about him, but Twist right now, the entries on B, the refrags on A. Oh, wow.
My God.
That is no joke. I mean, that's a very common spot for niko as well. That'll scare you a little bit. And there's no shooting back at him either.
I feel like we finally have a reason to play T-side op on Inferno. That one wallbang.
Yeah, just sit there, get an auto.
Yep. Don't give anybody ideas.
Get the autos, buy the autos.
Nope.
Listen, they're on sale these days. The op nerf comes in, 5 bullets in the op. Why would you use that gun? Only Dexter's gonna get an ace with 5 bullets.
Oh, that was sick.
Get yourself an auto today.
9 rounds for FaZe.
Yeah.
Talk about the success of their CT
That was
sides,
the most
but
grim situation, right? Because the other rounds that G2 lost, that was like, they were advantaged and they had like low guns and then they lost them. This one dismantled by one man, one Canadian man.
it's going right back to it.
To be honest, it's hard to argue against doing anything else, again, because the value of the op on T side is so low up until you get into a post-plant situation. You don't expect to crack open sights with the op. You refrag as you swing out with a rifle, for example. But right now, they know that car is clean for the moment. And this even dissuades G2 from playing in that spot. That is a huge spot that they can use to their advantage. FaZe saving strats to the end of the year.
It's just the two defenders here on A site. Hunter looking for a home on the util, and listen, he softens him up nicely. Kerrigan and Twists to nearly half. But those flashes are superb.
Yeah.
They blinded both CTs. Hell, blinded one of the Ts on the entry as well, but there's such a pack of players running through that bomb site that, unfortunately for JKS, there's nothing he can do to stop it. FaZe Clan showing us why Inferno is their map pick.
Absolutely, showing their range right here. It was a lot of defaults going into this game. Finally, a fast tactic up A. This is something more common that they do. And with Kerrigan in front, looking down, dodging flashes as he's scaling, this is just a position where G2 have no choice but to look forward. Unless they know this particular strategy is going to come forward, they're definitely getting blind on at least one player who thinks they can interrupt the execute. And they throw down some mollies too that Kerrigan's just far enough ahead that it doesn't matter to him. I mean, he takes almost half of his HP, but he's opening up the site. Everybody in his tailwind to run in behind him. And now some CTs looking to save. Kerrigan will go down with the bomb, but it doesn't matter at this point. 1 round left in the half. Killing CTs is what it's all about.
Yes,
and
sir.
at least they saved the guns to be able to try to get a 5th. We look back on this half, there were so many close moments, and FaZe won so many disadvantaged situations. But G2, for them, all that matters is they take the map, and we might be looking at another situation where they drop Inferno, this time maybe not as close, and just live out the normalcy of what other teams have to go through when they play against FaZe Clan on Inferno.
Yeah, suddenly it's like, you know, it's been quite some time since that force buy in round 2 netted them 3 rounds. Oh, Modesty, see you in the next half. Blown to smithereens, but there's still 2 CTs in this pocket, and Twist's not gonna let his guard down. A deagle spam to screw Hooksy. What a half this Canadian talent is having. And that's what we kind of needed, right? As much as FaZe, I think, are favored on Inferno, it's also going to take an individual notch, a kick up in talent, and Twist has absolutely delivered. We're talking 18 frags, only 15 rounds deep in this map. And it's going to be Hunter and JKS with a desperate 2 versus 4 attempt. But at least Hunter's already ahead of that Molotov. So it's a nice one to finish off Twists. Player drops down beside him in Brokey. And now it's JKS with another clutch attempt in this series. Flash goes high, Brokey goes down. And the quad player's stuck. Banana Man's dead. But Rain's going to finish this off. A stoic hold from the backside. An 11-round T half. And FaZe trying to push this series the distance. But Inferno has surely changed things. A blowout in the first half, a T-side that G2 simply couldn't keep up with despite those 3 rounds early, that 4th one sprinkled in because of the JKS 5-7 magic. It's ultimately all they got, man. 4 rounds of a defense. Doesn't feel like enough.
No kidding. Yeah, FaZe, they took a little bit to wake up the last time they played against G2. And they almost closed out Nuke, if not for JKS, honestly, on that CT side. And here, it's a much better go of it. Much better rematch as well versus a team who took them to overtime. So let's see if they can close.
Get a flash out from Hunter. Try and pop this bomb site. Listen, Niko's got some free real estate, right? He's sizing this up already. How far can he get before they actually have to throw that nade? Niko wants to see something. He's going to get all the way in. Rops' position now known. He's got Brokey behind him towards Library, but the flood of T's hit the ground. Brokey will get smoked off. So despite his first kill, Rops isn't able to offer up anything to FaZe's favor. 4 versus 4 in the post-plant pistol. Niko, that's kind of gross.
That was the Moto boost getting shut down. Plus behind a Moto smoke with the time ticking down as well. This is a tough moment, and actually FaZe are just going to leave it. They're not even going to try to go for the 3v4 retake, so this gives G2 at least some odds in this half. I mean, this was such a written-off game if FaZe Clan pick up the pistol after all of those rounds that Twist basically won for them in that second half towards the tail end. And now G2 actually might have some hope still.
3 players saving in a pistol. This is because Outsiders won the major.
It's gotten to that point, yeah.
This is the Jame effect.
And to be fair, that's how oppressive that Moto smoke is when it's fresh in a post plant. It is so hard to get back in, especially if you don't have, what you need is a smoke that you can bounce off towards the site so that you can start clearing up into graveyard. Once you get into graveyard, then you can go forward with it, or you smoke off big pit and then you can scale and start clearing the site. But because there's big pit, graveyard, and the site, and a Moto smoke, which means the T's could have gotten anywhere, there's really, you know, only a bad team is going to lose in that situation. So you call it some respect here from FaZe that they decide to not try to give him any more kills. But that's why you've got to decide when you want to play retake and when you want to play within smokes.
Keeping all that Kevlar is actually giving them a decent little pool here to work with. There's some nades with the MP9 and Promise. And a flash towards top banana. niko looking for some revenge, man. It was a tough half. Wasn't able to get his war machine rolling. He's got 7 frags across.
No kidding. And on Nuke, I mean, he was dying in every single way.
Yeah, hasn't been his series.
Yeah.
But still a pretty good event from him, so give him a little more time.
Yeah, but it feels like he's just been countered more than he's just been whiffing.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. Yeah, especially back on Nuke outdoors. Yeah, Rain had his number.
That was not fun.
Couple moments he shines here and there, but careful, Monacy. Friendly fire.
So Rop's CT side of Inferno, I think we've seen him pushing the T apartments more than we have pretty much ever, and that was what won them the last match versus G2, being so aggressive.
Ooh, nice nade damage. It's Hunter and Hooksy tagged up somewhat, but 5-7 tries to sprint away. Remember, Rops, he's playing with one of those 2 guns. Hooksy tries to dive into the site. Jumping Mac-10 will work. Whoa. Wonderful second kill here from Rops. And then he kind of keeps it tucked. He's under pressure as that SMG presses in, and niko, well, the Galil looks wonderful on Arch side. A triple kill to keep FaZe at bay. 5 rounds the difference, but it's a T-side start. It bodes well for G2.
He is such an artist with these sprays, turning that into a spray, into a burst, into taps, and Rob's doing a hell of a lot from here. That was absolutely obtuse flick up into the apartments for the second frag. And again, we have to see what Rops is going to do from the pit position, with whether it's playing inside of halls, off the balcony. He's one of the players to watch in the whole world when it comes to this position.
Ooh. Twists. Oh, Hooksy. Holds left click as long as he holds W. Just guns through that banana setup. Wastes no time. Throws caution to the wind. And then Rops is going to give him something to think about. Second kill from him and Brokey. Oh no. Starting to rob this away. Plus, not to mention, that's the bomb planter.
Yeah, the bomb. It's right in the perfect position if you have T's there. But right now,
oh God,
CTs have all the best spots.
After that double entry, things looked like they were going so well. Hunter will wrap around. Oh, dunked on.
Wow.
niko from downtown. They recover. It's a Kovac clutch.
Let's go. I mean, that was not easy to figure out. They used their utility perfectly timed in all the right spots, and that HE, that's what makes a big difference. It's really hard to get to Robs if you can't dislodge the player in con. And Hooksy's like, you gonna let these kills go to waste? Wow, I thought he had a Deagle because he just shot 1 bullet. Of course, Robs.
5-7 do be nasty.
Is it just spraying at every opportunity? Did you just say FaMas, brother?
Yeah. Okay. FaMas is not my friend. It is my brother, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
ooh, a 3rd timeout called.
Honestly, for G2's sake, I'm very happy that round didn't fall out of their hands, right?
Yeah.
Give this T side a little life. Give these G2 fans a reason to make a little noise.
Yeah.
There's a little.
They're there.
We got a little.
Seen some old school jerseys here. Actually, an SK jersey.
SK?
Yeah. He said he was a G2 fan. He spent 3 hours looking for his jersey, couldn't find it.
Oh, no.
But you honestly get more street cred with an SK jersey, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. G2 fans won't admit they're embarrassed to wear the jersey. maybe that all changes here at the World Final.
I was going to say, it's been a rough year, but here comes niko. Ooh. Tries to transition to the spray into what could have been a second CT. CTs who now have barely any util.
Wait a second, I've seen this before.
Yeah, we'll see if Twists.
And it was actually Twist to get the frag last time.
Yeah, Hunter died empty-handed. Be even more insulting if Hunter's the guy to die to this, but he's over here at this A setup. Vast majority of G2 trying to press into the site. If Brokey can just get a little freebie, that'd be wonderful, but with the smoke, he's got to give up some space. Can't afford to drop his team into a 3 versus 5. But also can't really afford to leave that A site.
Can we see the guy on the bottom? Okay, actually, it's, okay, just playing anti right here.
Riveting.
Well, they've got the CTs back on the A site, not looking for info on mid.
Let's see it. Gonna come around this corner. G2 should know about it. Ooh, big damage! Twists. He set up Rain to try and hold it. Gets back into quad. We've got a Molotov and a frag here from Hunter, so that'll definitely help. Not to mention little wall bang, and they flush him out straight into Hunter's crosshair.
Wow, those are perfect protocols. The most amount of pressure possible.
Rocks, 2 versus 3, but they're not even gonna take this chance. They're gonna call that quits. Twist does his damnedest, but it's just not enough. Not with Rain getting pelted by all those utilities.
It was perfect respect on the map there from G2, right? Like, not only was that boost sitting there the entire time, but G2 went to work the map accordingly, didn't see anything. There were resources tied up there where they can't retake banana control. They can't even flash it. They have to just chill because there could be someone right around the corner. But over on the A site, Brokey, he's behind a smoke on mid. If they don't smoke off Arch and pretend to at least take brackets, that flimsy bit of map control would actually be hugely impactful on the round for FaZe. So G2, full credit for kind of setting that up. So there'd be maximum 2 players there. No op that they have to worry about. And speaking of ops they have to worry about, we do have Brokey successfully saving his gun, which is huge. But this gets 1 round closer. And we see Twist get basically the most you could ask for out of this, right? 2 kills straight up, and his teammate gets away. But look at how they dealt with this. The HE going out first just in case he was kind of low. They covered it perfectly with an op and a rifle on the far side and didn't rush the situation at all by trying to scale too fast.
Now wallbang made it a real doozy for Rain.
Now let's see if FaZe Clan can win a round like G2 did in that first half.
4 straight out of G2's T side. That substantial lead now just down to 3. But we do get G2 kind of tagged up here. m0NESY and niko both on 64. So pistols, MP9. It's looking possible.
I gotta say, I love the ideas and the CT setups from G2 on these force-up situations. I think they came through with a lot of ingenuity and they executed really well. And the players, especially like JKS, were able to take advantage of some of their positions to their maximum advantages. I don't think FaZe will necessarily be different, but it does say a lot that they could do it to FaZe. One Molly dislodges the setup, and that's the one right there.
MP9 goes out. It's a bunch of damage, but Twist backs up.
Molly.
Yep. Couldn't see Jack
and they
because of
didn't
that
chase
flash.
him because he's got nowhere to go.
Right? He just has to run back forward, and he can't even do that. Burns to a crisp.
This is an interesting spot for Brokey, right? The op that just was supposed to be mollied back, and well, now he's still sticking around.
And honestly, an op that's usually on Arch.
Yeah.
It's a slight variation that could catch him off guard. niko's going to try to puff his chest over at that B site, keeping half of FaZe busy.
And niko's so far pressed up that now they're starting to change.
And honestly, this is the weaker site, right?
But
It's
look
the
at
2
time.
pistols.
Look at the clock right now.
Oh God, 13 seconds. They're gonna try to get in. That first kill's great. Kerrigan gets spotted. Oh! niko doesn't turn his attention. And so with those few seconds to spare, G2 comes in with that plant and a 9th added to the tally. That lead has essentially evaporated.
Yeah, we're almost back at square one. As Brokey, with the gun saved, carried forward, has the most money on the round, but loses it this time. They'll still be able to get it on their next full buy. But G2, man, they're moving correctly. They're moving slowly, but with just enough time. And I feel like they're such a good matchup for FaZe right now. They already proved it over on Nuke, toe-to-toe. You flip that nuke game over a couple of times. It feels like they would go, they would win 5 times. FaZe would win 5 times. It was just too close to call to say one team was clearly better. And it feels like Inferno might be the case as well. And the cool part is these guys have been going to head-to-head quite often. I mean, there have been some first-time matchups. We saw Yakinder play against his old team of Outsiders for actually the first time since he left the roster. But there's already some history within 2022 between FaZe and G2. Hey, G2 weren't at the major. FaZe only won 1 map.
Right? What's the difference really
What's the
between
difference?
them?
Niko and JKS used to play for FaZe.
Ooh, whoa! Double nade plus a molly?
Wow. That's ruthless.
Listen, this is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah,
this was
Kerrigan
a huge investment. This was guns.
Yeah, Kerrigan is super low as well. Tail end of the first half, FaZe did a similar thing.
When did that even happen?
It was all on Hobbit.
Broky's going to have to go absolute god mode now. Solo, essentially, because of Kerrigan's 4 HP. Rain's dead body littered at this B site as well. I mean, if I'm G2, there's no reason to be afraid of this B site. No reason at all.
Yeah, it's a situation where you can't really do anything wrong unless there's some massive gamble from the CT side.
Double digits off of the back of this one. If they can just push through the little that's left of Kerrigan and this one op. Listen, Broky's been having a good series, but there's about to be a world of pressure applied.
Well, he gets away with the fast smoke.
Utility comes out first. Niko's at the front, and it is an instant delete. Kerrigan, of course, only 4 health, and Rops tries to run out. The fact Hunter gets a team kill could maybe put Twist in a better position, but his entire team is dead, and G2 are now on the cusp of tying this game.
Damn near got 2 kills off of that opening tactic that, again, FaZe used versus them. It's crazy how much they're mirroring. We saw the boost come out from FaZe that G2 used in the first half. And then similarly, this attack on the 3B setup right away is the perfect call out of Hooksy. It almost wins them the round. They feel like it's over. And then Broky sticks around in an interesting spot. Now, if he had a slightly deeper angle, he kills Hooksy when he goes for the fast smoke. You could smoke CT off from far back, but it takes longer. Here they tried to make it not telegraphed, but with Broky on that angle, you could normally die doing that. But then Broky sticks around and Niko just hard clears it. 1 bullet to the head, getting revenge for himself after a really rough nuke.
Started to assert himself up Banana. Look at this util. 3 nades.
Oh my god.
I thought it was Molotov damage, but no, just 3 homing missiles that fly around that heat corner. And then Broky, I mean, he had to do something majestic, and instead he gets deleted by Niko's first bullet.
There's not enough space to stick back there if they want to try to smoke things out and play it slow. They wanted to try to get in front of that execute, but it's a round of G2 play it properly. It's very hard for them to lose. Like, if they have top car control and they can go with a full exec and they already have a kill and 90 damage on a second player, FaZe Clan, no. There's going to be some heroics, a big mistake from G2. Otherwise, they're probably going to lose. And G2 with that, they touched 10. It was an 11-4 half. But you look at some of those rounds and they were close.
That lead nearly gone. Not to mention curb purchase out of here. FaZe not coming in with everything. Clearly limitations.
This is a different level of G2 right now.
They are looking to tie this game up at 11. And I mean, again, 4 rounds on that first half. Yes, some of them were close, but they also all happened in like the first 6 rounds of the game. So it felt like everything from that point forward was flat. Felt like FaZe were on the highway to map 3. The wheels starting to fall off this whip.
At the bottom B smoke, minute 26. They're ready to give this respect. Strip their star of their best weapon. Twist, he's up to 20. He's had some big moments here for FaZe.
Looking to deliver yet again. Oopsie running in, excellent flash, but it's not yet there. Rain getting next to the deagle. Modesty with the wall bang. That drops the rifle. Rain wants to extend out to grab it, and he will find hands on it. But now as he gets back, ooh, he will get away. I thought maybe somebody there from G2 would try to chase it down, but the 4v4 is where we're left.
Yeah, they've been very calm in these situations.
They pull the goalie.
Yeah. And G2 want to know if this is a honeypot or not. The smokes are going up to deny vision outside of Arch. We've seen this happen before, and they do go ahead and potentially pick the correct site here. Every single CT waiting, but at 22nd, they're just not even close. They're just not in the right spot whatsoever. G2 are going to find a completely open B site after a successful refrag from m0NESY through the half wall.
The half wall. HooXi forces Twists off his initial perch.
Oh, gotta just give it a shot sometimes.
Right, take a chance. Look what it nets them, freebie of a round. FaZe, they try to go for the gamble.
Damn, that call is massive, man. There was pressure there at G2. They just picked up the M4. There were still 2 players on the B site. It could have been everybody rotating over there. But it's a misread. And HooXi's been very confident about the way they took that. They didn't test brackets. They smoked off Arch. They didn't show themselves at all. And they called out FaZe for not playing any close positions inside of mid. If they even had somebody playing under porch, they would have been able to see that that was a fake. It's a risk sometimes to throw a smoke like an Arch smoke and then to not make physical presence as well. Because if you throw those smokes and you don't see anybody as a CT, well, now you're just going to leave. But in this situation, FaZe, they haven't played anybody inside of the Arch smoke. That's the second time, actually, HooXi has gotten away with that.
The lead is gone, folks. We are tied at 11. It took overtime to separate these teams the last time they faced on Inferno.
FaZe have not won a round yet in the second half, right? This is a 11-4 half.
Oh my God. 7 rounds straight.
7 rounds straight. G2 do not know what it's like to lose yet.
Yeah, I mean, G2 have had no less than 2 players alive in every single one of these rounds as well, so it's not even like they're getting by in the 1v1 clutches.
Seen anything brand new out of FaZe just yet.
Lead is gone. Tied game. Felt like a freebie. Felt like Mirage was going to have to be the difference maker. And now, honestly, we may never even get there. But Brokey looks to turn this upside down. A missed shot versus a peek from HooXi, and he immediately bails back into the bomb site. But this is just going to allow for them to double up on Arch.
Yeah, the thing is, though, as soon as they've lost this space on side of mid, it's not like G2 are just continuing forward with a full-on A hit. And for that reason, actually, we have FaZe Clan not overstacking the A site. Brokey's getting behind the smoke into CT. I think FaZe are quite confused right now. It looks like they might be in their heads. We still don't know where this ends, but clearly FaZe don't either.
They're nervous about it. And there's been kind of like an underplaying of Arch side. So Brokey sticks around, catches HooXi at least, but now it's up to G2 whether they not want to follow through. Robs is going to be smoked out. He's got a player inside of the bomb site. They're just awaiting this commitment, and it's coming. Brokey's got the chance to with a double. Twists, it's just the one. Hunter and m0NESY on the recovery. And they know that Rops is over here because of the utility used, not to mention fire over the top. Rops delivers the headshot. Hunter's gonna get gunned down, and FaZe have lifted the curse of an empty-handed CT side. 3 players up, and it's Brokey's double kill that makes that all go down easy.
Yeah, I wonder what the idea was there. Well, first of all, Brokey gets a slightly deeper angle because he actually rotates out through library. I thought they were starting to get nervous about the thought of another full B exec coming in, but look at this. Instead of staying on the corner, he doesn't get that shoulder peek kill from this position. So he makes the right move. It's cerebral, it's fast, and it has Brokey's name written all over it from that perspective. Then he turns it into a second, sets up his A players for success. So a great round out of Brokey to stop a very confusing situation where it felt like G2 had FaZe conditioned. You could see Kerrigan wanted to come help out over on A, but he was worried about making the wrong call again. And just like Nuke, as soon as G2 make that comeback, they say, no. You don't get a lead, you get close.
Ooh, Rain with the dinks. Then we've got a lot of bodies here. Oh, look, drawn into that utility damage. Wow. Immense impact out of those grenades.
Wow, these late retake grenades.
But they turn away from it, right? Because they see all that presence, G2 think, listen, we're low. We know that that initial setup had an emphasis towards the B site. Why not just try to transition into this A hit? Why not just go for carnage? And instead it's Twist with a couple kills. He's gonna get himself into the site, loses his teammate towards Pit, and that next peek, well, it's a success story for G2. Wow. Listen, they won from man disadvantages back on Nuke. This would be a 2v5.
We've seen m0NESY on the A site. He has the op in the post plant. We know how powerful that op can be. And JKS with that key entry as well to set it up.
Will they give him anything?
But they still have the extra player.
Oh, that could have been
an extra moto smoke.
That's fantastic, but the fact that the CTs put one ahead of it, it's going to create a question. Rain takes down JKS, and Monacy doesn't have the cover.
Wow.
So they make it quick. They press in. CTs know that's a bit of a risk to run through blind, but listen, it works.
Yeah, they had no other choice. They
No
had
2v5.
They threw their scaling smoke, even though they have to run through one. At least they know they've overstressed. At least JKS, he dies in the pit. Monacy has to look in every direction, and he knows that they're going to come through. With the amount of time left on the clock, that's crystal clear. But FaZe still clean up, 3v2, and this comes from a 2v5 to a very scary situation. JKS's kill outside of halls made that possible. Look at that frag from Rain, and the frag from Rain earlier on as well. Off the corner of the sandbags, 2 bullets ahead of niko. 13 rounds now for FaZe. But a lot of money that has been made from G2 through this tireless journey.
For sure.
And they've got a couple extra dollars left in the bank. Probably be hard to do the math for FaZe as to how many buys are coming. But all they know is that they need to put one foot in front of the other.
The thing is honestly, G2 have kind of corralled FaZe into the corner. Now we're going to get these chaotic moments where FaZe has to go for round-winning moments. They've got to take more, or avert risks.
And the idea right there to go for the late retake grenades, that just paid off in such a huge way. The amount of damage that was done with the Molotov, the HE to pair with it, as G2 ran over to the A site. I mean, that came close in a 2v5, but up until that point, it was a super strong opening to the round. And now G2 might be a little bit more terrified about the idea of taking over Banana that quickly.
This comeback was always going to be a daunting task. How many more protocols in place, right? FaZe Clan pulling out the emergency book. And Twist's going to be wounded early.
This is like a classic situation where you go, we just dominated on that part of the map. Now they're going to be scared of it. Let's try to go for something new. And G2 actually doing a great job of just calling that out.
But unlike some of the more successful rounds as of late, it's not going to be that bombardment of nades down Banana.
They're trying to stop a hall spot from coming in their direction. This is a pretty big gamble, I want to say, from FaZe. Oh, but niko, he gets really hurt here. Oh, the nades that are coming out late as well.
I was going to say out of the gate they got nothing, but honestly, they still get what they need.
Now JKS just the entire time waiting for any action to come on the other side of the map, looking for some kind of reaction. G2 have been given nothing except some of these impact pieces of utility.
Whoa, careful now. Smokes come out. Yeah, Monacy gives him a warning shot. Instantly FaZe jump at it. JKS like a moth drawn to the flame of this ace side. Jiggle gets the answer, but it's not alone.
What a jiggle.
Robs is still up in there. Hunter, sensing that he's got a little bit of space, Twists making a lot of sound on that fallback.
Hooksy's committing, that's why we've got Twist leaving.
Oh, and it worked! Oh, did it ever just work? Hooksy killed Kerrigan as well, so things are going excellently. Rain recovers, but they don't know about Rops. He drops bomb, and no second kill. JKS picks up that slack. Hunter with vision into the library. CT's coming out to challenge, and the trade's there. G2 from B to A off the play of Hooksy. They get themselves in with another.
That was a terrifying round out of G2, and scary for FaZe. FaZe tried to play this in such a passive way. It was quite a gamble with the hall setup. But then what happened? G2 heard nothing. They got suspicious and they thought, okay, let's work overtime. They want to try to do something tricky. Let's really press this advantage that we have that they're lacking information, okay? Let's commit on a fake and send Hooksy into the B site, pressure them to actually respond finally. All the while they're actually taking the A site. And JKS, honestly, that jiggle is everything. The fact that he gets the op to scare it out of that setup, everybody has to leave, and now he wins Hall's control, that helps them win the round.
To do so little but gain so much, immense.
And the fact that he was even still nervous about that, they had no idea if there were people on brackets, playing a passive setup on the site. Instead, it was full-on Hall's control. We haven't even seen that yet this half, and he still kept an inventory of the ideas that could come out of FaZe.
One of my favorite characteristics of JKS. He's cautious. And in that case, it paid off. FaZe still in the lead. They've yet to completely lose it to G2, but now those dwindling utilities. And Brokey, missed shot, missed chance at what could have been a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, he's tried this opener a number of times so far.
Flash above, 0 for 2. Brokey, you need to deliver. And now he's just nervous about even coming around that corner. We got a lot of bodies stacking up.
Oh my God,
And
what's
Hooksy's headshot. But now it's Rops's chance to shine. Oh, Niko! It's coverage. And it's killer instinct out of G2. Tied game again, 13-all.
And this is no money in the bank account now for FaZe. They need to save these guns. G2 won that so confidently. That was the ugliest looking round out of FaZe on that setup. That was, and honestly, that was a round where G2, they didn't even attack in a very convincing way, running the entire way around Arch to Brokey's natural rotation point that he's been going every single time to give him another chance to get a kill. It's only because he misses 3 shots. Now, the fact that they didn't have a flash setup for the Arch peak from the CT side, and the fact that the T's didn't have a flash to help them scale, means that that was why it looked so ridiculous. 5 both T and CT players running at each other head-to-head, full vision, but it's the CTs who get you cramped. The T's are happy to have that situation take place, and even if they don't have a flash. And now one of 2 guns has been taken down, and at least Rain stays alive. And we get to a crux position in the match, round 27, 13-13. The CTs cannot afford to go back and forth on rounds anymore. Look at this, everyone full vision. There's no one needs to play anti because there's no flash coming out. I don't know if Rops didn't have one from the pit, but the fact that they had Brokey and called Rain over meant that they were so insecure about the A site. They wanted to hold on to this, and they lost so many opportunities with the shots being missed from Brokey. The CTs are the ones to take a timeout. Oh, this buy.
It's not pretty, Chief.
This T-side has been incredible from G2. We're talking about 4 rounds in the first half. They're up to 13 now.
I can't believe it. And the 2 rounds FaZe do pick up by way of defuse. This is all they get. Brokey is already struggling with that op. Now he's playing unarmored Desert Eagle to try and get it back. Presuming G2 pick up a 14th win off of this one. FaZe hanging on for their life.
Oh, the one gun.
M4 spam comes out, Hooksy's in the corner. Oh, Niko through smoke. And then Kerrigan gets caught off.
This one's for 14, folks. G2 haven't seen a lead in this match.
This one goes down so smooth. Hooksy just patient in the corner. JKS wins a fight as Rops desperately attempts to get something going. G2, off the back of this round, have a lead. Not a tied game, a lead to get into the grand finals.
Wow. To beat FaZe, to win the rematch, and to do it on Inferno, where they had it. They were on the doorstep, the precipice. They were so close to touching it. And as soon as they lost Inferno, they fell apart completely on map 3. And suddenly they found their best chance yet in another attempt versus a team that hasn't lost Inferno in 4 games. And we are not talking sleeper rosters. Heroic twice, G2 lastly, and Liquid a 16-5 game here at the World Final. It has been relatively immaculate for FaZe Clan. And we aren't getting the Robs heroics.
Nope.
We aren't getting the Robs heroics on the A site. We aren't getting his pushes through the halls. He's not taking everything into his own hands. You can only expect that to happen so many times. But that, it's just, of course, it's just one extra bullet. But it's those early grenades, too, they threw at Rain to soften him up to that point.
And Kerrigan just kind of writes off the possibility of the corner. So here we go. It's guns back in from FaZe. It's that op that Brokey wanted. 1 bullet extra. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. I wonder if Rops' inability to get aggressive is maybe because JKS is kind of his counterpart. Oh, Monacy hits the hop. Looking for the timing, barrel spotted, but it's Brokey drawn into the Hunter. Rops out of the corner, traded, and now they're gonna try. Oh, no scope! Monacy for G2's 15th. Hits a stunning shot to take it away from Twist. When Rops isn't able to deliver, when Brokey is missing shots, when Kerrigan and Rain are dying empty-handed, they fall on Twist to go big. And he is robbed of a chance to shine.
A no-scope.
He's their top fragger at the moment, 23 frags across this second map, trying to be the Rops of the last series, and he gets no-scoped.
This kid,
a gut-wrenching gut shot.
This kid has 2 sensitivity, and he makes it look like 3. He uses full mouse pad to go for the 180 and hits the shot under porch without his scope.
We need that queued up to the replay. And we need Rain to try and hold on to this M4, but they all get cleared. G2 will have 2 attempts to get into this grand finals.
I was looking through the match thread yesterday, the G2 fans saying, don't give us hope. We don't want hope. Oh, now it might not be hope
Watch
you need
this.
anymore. Oh my God.
Harness the power of the op.
What the? 180 for the trade. And another round where Brokey gets shut down on A in the same position, trying to get some counterplay out of Porch, missing his shots, rotating over, was normally missing a shot, hitting a couple later on. Some of them consequential, some of them not. But look at this half, man. I want to talk about consequential. FaZe Clan have had won 2 rounds so far.
An 11-4 T side would lead you to believe that this one had already been wrapped up. A CT pistol and FaZe Clan. Quick, GG go 3. But now the desperation sinks in. The reality of this situation sinks in. And a fully focused G2 gunning for grand finals. HooXi's gonna get tagged up half health, but those utilities are already basically gone. Brokey still has that full belt, but he's also only got the deagle. He's gonna try to run over to support.
Oh, it's an open map once again. Man, G2 have got them scared. When have we had a Halls push all the way through? Not a single time this half. No one getting into window. No one peeking down bracket, for God's sakes. It hasn't been a single thing except for Brokey taking his peek on Porch, sitting on Arch behind it. No rifles, getting into position. And with that space, HooXi has been thinking, how do we take advantage of this? Get these CTs to rotate more than they're comfortable with. And he has been right about the site that they want to go to a number of times. He has had the players to win when he's been wrong. And now, in potentially one final try in their best case scenario,
40 seconds.
FaZe Clan have to put up a defense once again.
Kerrigan ready with smoke.
Watching basically nothing.
An incendiary to follow when the crunch time really comes. If it comes, and sure enough, it's about to. HooXi wants to shroud Kerrigan in that smoke, and now it falls to Rain and his FAMAS. Kerrigan comes out with the SMG, still alive and kicking. Everything's getting confusing. USPs in hand, bodies falling, and Brokey finally gets something going. But now he's pressed up. We've got 8 seconds on that clock, and bomb is going down, just like FaZe Clan. m0NESY, AK up, Robson Twist, the 2 highest rated players at this event prior to this semifinal. And now they've got 3 players to drop. m0NESY so close. His teammates lean back because they're not even needed. G2 will end this year where they started it, a grand finals. But this is HooXi's G2. And they have 1 BO3 left over. 1 last match to do the unthinkable. They may not have attended the major, but they just eliminated both of 2022's major champions.
It's a moment to be proud. Honestly, no matter what happens at this point, G2 with massive victories and every excuse in the world if it weren't going to make it work on this run. And now here they are in a finals, taking down the best team at this event in semis.
Team Liquid, G2, grand finals to round out the year. A year of back and forths, a year of ups and downs, a year of dead eras. And all of a sudden, we got a new champion to finish this one off.
Taking down both major champions in the same run.
What a run. And a run that's not yet over. High hopes for the G2 camp. And who other to give us his thoughts, his emotions, than HooXi. Bask in the glory that is his semifinal win.
HooXi, you've done it. Your first ever Tier 1 Grand Final awaits tomorrow. What does this feel like?
It's pretty crazy, honestly. Also, the way we won, I really felt like it was a tough first half, like a lot of mistakes, is also for me individually. So I'm also proud of myself that I actually stepped up and could actually call a good T-side, even though I had a really bad individual game. So.
Talk to me about that though. You're down 11-4. It's FaZe. You were down most of the game, right? They got to 13. What were you saying to the team? How did you keep things going?
I honestly don't say anything special. I just feel like this team, we showed it at EPL in the group stage as well. We made so many sick comebacks. When we're in this mood, when we play like this, we can always make comebacks. So, yeah, just in general, really proud of the team and what we can accomplish when we actually play to the level that I know we can.
And what's changed within the team? Talk to us about this, because you guys have hit another level that many of us didn't expect you to hit here.
I think our practice went like shit. Sorry for the language, but if our practice went like it did in the last week up to this event, then apparently we play good in official. So we've been playing so well in Prague before the event in Copenhagen, and that didn't go well for us. So I guess we just have to lose in practice.
So lose in practice, win on the stage. That's what it's all about.
I guess.
And I've got to ask, it's going to be liquid again now in this grand final. Last time around, back in Copenhagen at the full finals, you lost out 0-2. How's it going to be different this time around? Can you feel the difference? Can you sense it already?
I think the difference is just the way we play, how confident we are, and I think we are all very hungry to get the revenge against Liquid.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Etihad Arena, give it up for Hooksy and G2 Esports!